Jenny, Kirk in the loft. Gosh, I nearly forgot my name there. So
I believe you are live now.
Yes, thank you, Cupboard Monkey. So, at the moment, you can probably hear and see we've got some trains running. The idea behind this, it's Sunday, it's something a little bit different, and basically, I've got all the cameras set up, and we're going to be running some trains. That is the plan. Nothing but trains. When the Cupboard Monkey brings up OBS again, so I can see what's going out. Aha! Right, I'm doing the chat on my phone.
Oh, in that case, you don't need this then, do you?
Yeah, Little Miss Medal.
Fine.
So we're just smoothing out a few things, and
yeah, we're total metalheads.
Thank you, Cupboard Monkey.
You're welcome.
No, don't mess it. Oh, you can't get the staff.
You can, you just don't pay enough to get them.
Right.
She pays me in nuts. Pay peanuts, get Cupboard Monkeys.
No, I pay you with the roof over your head now. Stop it.
Yes.
Right, anyway.
A roof over my head and the threat of dropping it on me if I don't behave, I know.
Right, anyway, when the Cupboard Monkey stops being a Mither Monkey, basically the plan for today is, as I'm sure, unless you've been sat in a box somewhere completely oblivious to what's going on in the world, coronavirus. It's spreading around. A lot of places are going on to lockdown. Great Britain is on the verge of a big lockdown, so what we're going to be seeing is things get cancelled, lots of big events, football matches already being cancelled, but model railway shows are going to be next on the firing line. And I've heard from a few people who've been at shows this weekend that even the ones that have been going ahead, they just haven't had people through the doors. A lot of people who are exhibiting have pulled out. A lot of retailers have pulled out as well for various reasons. You know, there's a lot of retired people, older people who are at risk. I myself had pneumonia as a very small 16-month-old child, and that's left very bad scarring in my lungs. And what that means is that I'm in an at-risk category too. So you can imagine we're all in the same boat together.
But what it doesn't mean is that she would shut up, because she never seems to do that. You've got lung issues, but you never shut up.
Yeah, whatever.
A born entertainer. I'm going to leave you to it.
Right. Flymo Chairman 1. I've put the oven on for my choice of oven-ready meals. Beef and potatoes. Trying to stop ZZ Top's TV dinners going around my head. Not sure if I know that one. But without further ado, you haven't come here to look at me with my silly cat ears on. So, let's start queuing up. There we are. Boom! There we are. So one of the new camera angles we've got going on there. And we've got some trains going round. I'm going to be firing up the sound in a little bit as well. And the idea is that there's going to be a little bit less of me talking and a little bit more of the trains running.
You can point things out.
Yes, apparently I can point things out. So over here, this is the TMD over here. In fact, that's quite awkward. I'm not going to point things out. I'm sure you can see what's on screen. But we've got loads of comments coming in. We've got 67 people in the chat. Don't forget to like this stream, share it too, and also subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. So it's great to see so many people in. A lot of people saying happy birthday. Yes, indeed. March the 15th is my birthday. It's also my wedding anniversary as well. So for my 30th birthday, I got a wife. I'm now somewhat older than that. Mark Wilson says, happy 21st, Jenny. Yeah, and the other 21 as well. Paul Shepherd says, hello there, nice view of the yard, thank you. Anfield Road layout in the loft, hi to you. Matt Maz too, my dad has been in intensive care for the last 2 weeks with epiglottitis and pneumonia, so I know how bad it is. Yeah, there is a lot of wintry stuff going around anyway, which is, you know, it's that time of the year. But I've got a few different camera angles that I've got set up. This camera, incidentally, before anybody goes, oh, there's something up with your camera. This is an older webcam. It's still HD, but it's a different make to the others, so bear with it. It also doesn't seem to like the refresh rate of some of the LED lighting in the loft, and it keeps trying to focus on, well, I don't even know what it's trying to focus on. But what you've seen there, Jablight Mountain, the lovely back scene that Les did for us as well. Unfortunately, Les as well has been advised by his doctor to keep out of the way of people. He's also in an at-risk category. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you you're getting on a bit in years. Him and I, we're a little bit delicate, but that's fine. Luke Gauci, I'm stuck inside because of a condition I have since I take immune suppressants and have to limit contact with peoples. Yeah, a lot of people with issues with things like if you're on chemotherapy, it suppresses your immune system. If you've recently recovered from cancer, recently had surgery, recently got over a whole host of other illnesses, there's a lot of reasons why people might be keeping out of the way. In fact, yesterday when I was out and about on the roads, it's unusually quiet. So we're going to flit around. We've got a number of different camera angles, a number of different trains up and running. I've got the all-new DCC Concepts Alpha Cobalt setup, which does mean that I can run an awful lot of stuff, an awful lot of sound stuff. So Mark Wilson says, keep Les under the layout next to the loo roll stash. Yeah. What is this thing with does anyone know? Coronavirus doesn't give you the squits. Why are people panic buying bog roll? Are they eating it or something? Yeah, Flymo Chairman 1. I'm in the Category A at-risk group 2. I know my father and my grandfather's still with us. He's well into his 90s, so he's practically in lockdown self-isolation. My father is 72. He's kind of keeping out of the way as well. He's recently recovered from cancer as well. So you can imagine that there's a lot of people who are going to be finding times challenging. As I said before, I myself recovered from really quite severe pneumonia as a child. It's left me with scarring on my lungs, and that is something that unfortunately means I'm in at-risk category. Bob Patterson says, second heart attack here down under. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're getting better. But again, there's a lot of people with health conditions that kind of makes you very worried. And I think nobody really quite knows what's going to happen with the coronavirus. It's the fear of the unknown, I think, is the biggest thing. But don't forget, just chat with each other in the chat. I will try and answer certain comments as well. We've got the super chat going on. Somebody did ask me before the stream started about requests for locomotives. Up to a point. I'm not going to constantly keep changing the locos, and certainly the trains that are going round. It's trickier to change the trains themselves, but I am open to changing stuff from time to time, is what I will say. But, just hang out, enjoy, and don't forget as well to, just play nice in the chat. We've got a few moderators in there, the Spanner of Ultimate Dooms. Before anybody asks, I'm not making any more moderators. I think we've got enough in there just to keep an eye on things. But just play nice, enjoy the trains. I'm going to fire up some of the sound in a bit. I can do that. If it's a cacophony of noise, then we'll start to tone that down. But basically, with model railway exhibitions getting cancelled left, right and centre, Alexandra Palace hasn't yet officially been cancelled. But in all honesty, I think a lot of people are expecting it to be. Hornby have pulled out, Gauge Master have pulled out. Quite a few exhibitors have pulled out, a number of other traders have pulled out, and even if it were to go ahead, I think that patronage as well would be right down as well. Good evening to you, New Mills Model Railway. J94, is that a blue Class 25 in BR Blue? If so, it looks cool. Let me just try and find the... let's find the angle that we're talking about. Nope, wrong one. Let's try. Oh, come on, where are you? Yeah, so I think you're talking about this one here. This is actually BR Chromatic Blue. So it has the Ferriton dartboard crest on the side, small front yellow panels. That was a Model Zone Special Commission. If you're wondering about the Class 8 in Intercity livery being a little bit out of place with BR green diesels and steam, the reason for that is because it has a particularly loud sound chip. So that's the reason it stood there. It's Loco number 5, which we can make use of. Baker's R Junction says, I'm also on the virtual Model Rail Expo. Yes, there is a Facebook group. A lot of people have cottoned on to the idea that it's a great thing to... the internet is a great thing. This kind of a lockdown would have been boring as anything before the internet, but it keeps us all in touch. Let's all, build the community, welcome people into it, and let's make sure that if we're going to be under lockdown, let's make it as fun as we can be. Because obviously there's a lot of older people as well. You might be living on your own, and you're always more than welcome to come on up and join in on the streams. There's a lot of other streams going on. I know that Sam's Trains as well has been doing a stream earlier on today. The Jenny Monday Club will be going on as per normal every single Monday, and subject to if the lockdown gets any worse, then the Sunday antidote to quarantine, come for the train, stay for the chat, will be going on for the foreseeable future as well. Right, what have we got going on? Yeah, New Mills Model Railway, that's okay. You can have a cheeky plug there for your new Metcalfe building video. Mark Wilson said, thanks for this session, Jenny. It's a great pick-me-up at the moment. Well, absolutely welcome. Gary Lewis says, evening, Jenny. Is there a page that says who have pulled out of Ali Pali? There's not a page saying who's pulled out, but Warners are updating the page that says who's there, so you've basically got to deduce it from the list. I don't think they list the actual retailers who are either still there or have pulled out.
We do know a few though, don't we?
Yeah, Gauge Master and Hornby have pulled out. So
and, we've heard that Bachman may have.
I suspect a lot of others are going to be pulling out as well. Unfortunately, it's a sign of the times. Things are moving incredibly fast, and it would not surprise me if Ali Pali gets
It's not cancelled, then quartered by the amount of people that aren't coming. To be honest with you, I can't blame a single person who decides that they're not going.
I think the thing is that by this coming weekend, things are moving so quickly that we're going to actually end up with Ali Pali getting cancelled by default. If the ban on large public gatherings goes ahead, Ali Pali will be just one of many cancellations across many different hobbies. Right. Lakota Thiruf says, I missed it. Who is your guest? We've got the cupboard monkey dotting in and out. There is no specific guest today. Tomorrow, haven't yet organised a guest, actually, to be honest. It was going to be Les Cliff, but I don't think he's going to be able to get here due to the lockdown.
It may be me.
Yeah, so playing by ear for tomorrow, but essentially today is more about the virtual train. So you'll see I'm not on screen.
Yeah, it's a virtual train expedition.
Yeah, pretty much. So
okay, so if you're sitting so close to this, I'm just going to turn that volume down a little bit.
Oh right, sorry. No, I was just leaning over.
No, if you want to lean over, that's fine. I've just turned it down a little bit because you were starting to go into the red.
Oh right, okay. I thought it had a compressor on.
It does, but you're still going into the. You are so loud.
Yeah.
That you're decompressing the compressor. Would you like a drink or anything else?
I'm good with the Coke. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I know there are at least 4 live streams I can watch right now, not all about virus precautions. Well, this isn't strictly speaking about virus precautions. This is about come for the trains, chat in the chat room. I'm going to fire up the sound
Yeah, we're
now.
just having a nice chat.
Yeah, I'm going to fire up the sound. We're just going to see how we go.
Fire up that one that sounds like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That's the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, I'm telling you.
Huh.
There it is. Right, I'm gonna go. I'll see you later. You have fun.
Jonas Kern asks, are those signals working? No, the ones that you're seeing on screen at the moment, actually, these do work, but the camera's facing the wrong way for them.
Yeah, all Jenny's signals work about as hard as I do.
There is some,
Bye-bye.
Alright. Paul Shepherd asks, do you leave your DCC sound levels at factory settings or do you adjust to suit the loft? Generally, I leave them at factory settings unless I feel that I need to adjust them. It's one of the things. Some of them can get a bit loud, some can be a bit quiet. It's just a case of adjust to suit. By and large, I haven't found the need to change many. But it is interesting to know that even supposedly identical sound chips can be at a different sound level out of the box. Hobbyman UK says, all hail the cupboard monkey. You don't have to live with her, mate. New Mills Model Railway asks, did I hear right last week that it's yours and Zoe's anniversary this weekend? Yes, today actually. It's our 11th wedding anniversary, so yeah, we've put up with each other for 11. Mark Wilson says, sounds like a duck underwater. Not sure what the duck which one's the duck underwater. I'm going to change one of the locomotives. I think my Duchess of Montrose, the sound chip, for whatever reason, has stopped responding. Very strange. The actual locomotive's running just fine. '11th anniversary. Mark Wilson asks, what's that one? Wood, paper? I honestly couldn't tell you. Although the greetings card industry, I think, has a greetings card for pretty much every eventuality. I think every single year, up to 100, they've got in it stuff like, you know, paper, wood, plastic, Bakelite, you name it. Good evening to you, Wardle Road. Great to have you along. Leslie Gilpin, Jenny, did Zoe buy you separate or combination of presents for your birthday anniversary? We don't tend to celebrate the anniversary anymore. It's the 11th year, and I forgot. But the thing about it is that we tend to do my birthday more than the wedding anniversary. You know, when it gets to big numbers. So when we hit 10, we did something. So last year I can't remember what we did. I think I took her out for a meal or something. Maybe at 15 or 20 we'll do something.
I did get you something, though. Didn't I?
What did you get me?
The little display.
Yeah.
Which
that
you
was
love.
my birthday.
Yes.
Well, they can't see that.
Yes, but they will soon on one of the upcoming videos.
Certainly will, yes. Don't forget to like this video, everybody. It's great to see you all in the chat there. Chat with each other. Ask questions if you will, but I'm going to try and talk. Oh, we seem to have a few issues going on.
Why don't you try showing them a run or a shunt or something like that? With some special locos.
No, I'm just going to see if I can clean some of this track.
Ah, so you are on camera. Ah, gratuitous arse shot. So, what have we got here? Where were you up to in these questions?
I'm just dipping in.
I was typing when I bounced myself out of the chat, says Flymo Chairman. Hit that like button. Don't bounce yourself out of the chat, that sounds dangerous. I hope you're alright. And I'll pass it back over to Jen now. Sorry, I've just moved all of the buttons around so just to confuse you, you know. Wow, it's getting loud in here. Right, I'm going back to playing Pac-Man.
Combat Bunny asks, where, Jenny, did you get your sign made? You actually got it for me for, was it last year, for my birthday?
Yes, I did, and
can you remember when you
I will type it into the chat. I will type the URL into the chat so people can get one if they want.
John Wilkes asks, why is the sound garbled? It sounds alright. I don't know.
It sounds fine to us. It sounded fine to me when I was checking it as well. We do have a lot of people that give sound issues, and I don't know what's wrong, because every time we check it, it's fine. Wardle Road, thank you so much for the super chat.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Let's see a Class 20. Actually, there is a Class 20 going round.
Well, show it.
I will do. Just,
Where is it? Is it this one?
Oops, that's, let me try and find that. Yes, so...
Is it this green one?
Yes, it is. So... There is a Class 20 D8000. Thank you very much, Wardle Road. Happy birthday, says, let's see a Class 20. So, here you are. This is my D8000. So, let's try and follow it round a little bit.
I'll let you play. And thank you so much, Combat Bunny. That is much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Combat Bunny. That is incredibly generous of you. I've turned off the Class 37, actually, because it's getting a bit loud. But that is amazingly generous of you guys. Thank you very much. Let's just change camera angles. So you're going to start to see the Class 20 is going to come in on the top there, just over the bridge. You're seeing the Super D go by at the bottom.
Every time I see that angle, I think in my head, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Shut up. No.
She's had it going round her head all day.
I'm afraid that the Cupboard Monkey is playing the part of the annoying person at the Model Railway exhibition.
I'm going to go back to playing Pac-Man then, so...
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
I'm going to go and pack some mans. Bye, everyone.
So you're seeing the... I'm having a few issues with certain locos. You'll have seen there that
Are they going in Loco slow motion?
the Great Western, the westernized version of the rod, I think it's a 28XX or a 30XS class, is having a few issues there. So let me just sort out that Loco. Let's see now, what shall I put on? I think in the past people have asked for my A1, so let's have a look. Wardle Road, is this the realistic exhibition where the kid's trying to pull the locos off the layout? Hopefully not. But I'm just going to put it on, I'm going to go with Aberdonian, which is my A1 class. So bear with me just one moment, trying to get this onto the track. Right. Railway Music Lover has asked for a peek. We'll get round to that. But first of all, 65.8. Let's have a look. Loco, 65.8. So I've set off a A1 class. You're about to see the Class 20 again coming into shot. And what I'm going to do is, let's have a look. Leslie Gilpin says, looks like a connectivity problem on that Loco dirty track, though you just cleaned it. Maybe dirty wheels. Yeah, I think my 30XX, there's a few that need a little bit of kind of TLC. They sit for months and months never getting used, and a lot of these steam locomotives just haven't really run in a long time. So let me just, I'm going to dig out a peak. But let's change angle. There we are. So we can just see the A1 coming into view there. Right, let's have a look. 4653. Now got a peak up and running. Flymo Chairman 1 says, a peppercorn, don't sneeze. Faversham International says, that's a lovely angle. Thank you very much. It is quite a high shot. necessitated actually by the length of the cable on the camera. It's right at the limit of its cable. But actually, yeah, you're right. I think it has actually. It's come off really well. Combat Bunny says, now no excuse to continue on my layout. Oh, it's always great fun building a layout. I must admit that I'm looking for projects up here to add to this model because I stupidly built it a little bit too quickly in a way. You're just seeing the Class 46 hoving into view there with the van train. J94 says, I've bought some LNER Teak Coaches, so now I have a 4-coach set of Teaks. Yeah, the Teak Coaches are actually really, really nice, it has to be said. I've got quite a lot of the Hornby Super Detail Teak Coaches. I think I've got a rake of about 8 or 9 of them in the actual LNER Teak. I've also got a rake of 5 in the very early BR Teak. And then you're seeing, I think it's a train of, let's see now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 of the Blood and Custard Teak Coaches. There's actually 2 in all maroon as well, which you're about to see on... Oh, the Class 46, I noticed, has stopped. You're just about to see the 2 maroon Teaks going by. I think there is a small issue with dirty track, so just bear with me. And as is always the case, the dirty track is right where it's hard to reach. Mark Wilson says, my misconception then, I thought DCC ran on dirty track, but it didn't matter, I still run DC. If anything, I think DCC is probably a little bit more finicky of dirty track. Yeah, Leslie Gilpin says, you don't know track cleaning until you do DCC and N-Gauge. I can imagine, you have my sympathies. Strangely enough, I think actually the issue is that 46 is slipping. Yeah, for some reason that Class 46 is now really struggling with grip. So when it comes round, I am going to take the Loco off and just, I'll change that to another peak. Oh, we've got a wobbly wagon on the front there. Oh, deceitfully it's trying to take out an adjacent train. Right, we've got a class 45 now. So let's just try and queue up the class 45. So what number do we have? 4520. Should be that number. Few issues with derailing trains, it seems. Right, interestingly enough, it seems that none of the backman peaks are coping very well with what is actually quite a long train there. So we're going to have to move away from peaks. We need something with a lot of grip. Andrew Keeley says, hello, just waking up after a long night working in the hospital in New Jersey, USA. Great idea to do this. Thank you very much. Tim J.D. Dowd says, Jen, what's the steamer going backwards, please? That's a nice load. The one going backwards is it's a G2A, a Super D. And that's, is it a Webb Super D? Frank Webb, something like that? It's actually the exact same model that's in the National Railway Museum. That's the preserved example 49... See, what have we got on it? 49395, and that was a backman model. When it first came out, they did the preserved example. Paul Higgins says brake cleaner works well for track cleaning. I bet it does, but there's a part of me wondering, does it also cause issues with things like certain plastics don't like it? It kind of dissolve things. Also, if you get it on the finish on your locomotives and rolling stock, it might actually take the paint off. Right, I'm just going to see what I can do about this van train. Oops. It is actually surprisingly heavy. I've just tried pulling that by hand. I have lubricated all of those vans, but there's a lot of dead weight there. So it's probably why the peaks are struggling a bit. So what I'm going to do, let's find something that's heavy and has got all-wheel drive. What can we pick that would... let's go for a Hornby Class 71. Then if these, I don't think they've sold as well as Hornby might have hoped, because they're still available in all liveries. So let's get 7112 set up. Change the old camera angle there. So you'll see 7112 sat there waiting to go. Let's put details in. Turn the lights on. There's quite a weight to one of these Locos, so it does actually tend to grip quite nicely. There we go. What I might do at some point soon is take the van train off and replace it with the... Well, we had the coal trucks before. I put the van train on because at Wardle Road, Ollie, I know he likes his vans, so when he came to visit the second time, I changed the train, but it's clear that just struggling just a little bit. It's probably a couple of vans. It may well be that the wheels have seized up a little bit. I'm going to have to look into that. I was counting up my brake vans, and I was thinking of doing a video, the longest brake van train ever. I know Sam's Trains did a video, but I think I can beat him because I have got a lot of brake vans. One of my little loves is buying brake vans. I really like them for reasons that I'm not really quite sure about. So I do have quite a lot. Mark Wilson says, I bet the van train's full of loo roll. Loo roll's not that heavy. I have driven a 44-ton lorry a long time ago that was loaded up with bog roll, and it wasn't actually all that heavy. What's apparent is I need to do a little bit of track cleaning. I don't have a specific track cleaning wagon, but I have a lot of elbow grease and Pico track rubbers, and it's clear that they're getting a good workout today. Simon Trains MRS says this is quite nice. Watching the trains passing, it does feel like an exhibition. Thank you very much. That is kind of the intention. the regular Monday club will be still on the regular Monday slot. So I'm not, oh, excuse me, coming down with a dry cough at the moment. Oh, do excuse me. It's not coronavirus before anybody suggests that. It's just one of those niggly little colds. Railway Music Lover says, I've bought a Daypole brake fan kit. I'll be making that up when it comes. Yeah, I do love brake fans. Leslie Gilpin says, just had a nice sunset. At least the clouds I could see were red. Tim J.D. Dowd, same here in Newport. Wardle Road says Monday club, Tuesday club, Wednesday club. Yes, Wardle Road has the kind of the Tuesday club. David Watts says buy a Triang wagon. They are cheap on eBay, usually under a tenner. Pads for it are cheap too. Gosh, I remember that. Mark Wilson says a dry cough. I'm going. You cannot catch anything through the internet. I know people talk about their computer catching a virus, but it's not catching. Yeah, red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. Right. What I'm going to do is shortly, I'm going to change the class 20 that you're currently seeing there going across the middle of the screen. Also, if you look out there, it's a little bit hidden because of the chat text. But Doctor Who is in the house. So there we go. Oh, it's a little bit rickety there. What is that? Possibly a little bit too obvious. There we go. Doctor Who has arrived. And that's it. It's become as ubiquitous as the bus on the bridge. And that is Doctor Who's TARDIS. I think most layouts have one. Wardle Road says, think we need a like spike. That's right, everybody. Currently, there's 117 people enjoying this kind of virtual model railway exhibition. I know that the exhibit is all just Waryard, but yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe too if you've not already subscribed to the channel. You'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. And don't forget as well, 7 PM GMT tomorrow, Monday. It's the Jenny Monday Club. That will be continuing as usual. Haven't decided on guest, if at all. I think in the present climate, it may well be a case of it'll just be me and the Covered Monkey, just like old times. But don't forget to join us then. And also you can look back through the channel. We've got a lot of great videos. We've just had the box opening and review of the Hornby 48DS locomotive. In fact, even though it was a loaner, it's back in the box waiting to go back. But I am going to, hold on a moment. I'm going to take, let's put the Ruston, the 48DS on. Oh gosh, that class 20. That is somewhat warm, it has to be said, very warm. This is the Ruston 48DS, and just for you guys on this virtual exhibition, I'm going to give her another run before she has to get picked up and sent on back. And let's get a tail load. And what's actually a really nice accompaniment to the 48DS Ruston, and I've just realised that the train deceitfully stopped when it knew that I was giving my attention to something else. Let's just get this something else going. So you'll be seeing, hoping into view on the upper level where the Class 20 was going round. There's now an army liveried Ruston 48DS with a tail load of a Bachmann Army livery XLMS covered ventilated fan. And actually, these are still in stock. They haven't sold anywhere near as well as perhaps Bachmann were hoping, but they are the perfect accompaniment to this diminutive little locomotive. So let's see if we can, which camera angles which. You'll just see it coming down the bottom right hand corner, kind of hidden behind the text. Let's see what the best angle for that is. You'll see it coming up in the corner. I'm just going to try and clean some track. So do excuse me. Right, let's take another look at the comments. I hope everybody's having a good time despite this this lockdown that, to be honest, so many countries are being plagued with. It's very unfortunate. We live in very interesting times, but it doesn't mean that we can't still enjoy the YouTube community. And certainly I've seen that the model railway community on YouTube has been really rallying together to put on a great show, give an alternative to going out to exhibitions. And if Alexandra Palace does get cancelled next weekend, there are plans afoot by certain commercial enterprises to provide something of an alternative. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that, so I've been trying to spearhead an alternative as a plan B just in case. So we were hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it looks like it might do. So stay tuned. I will of course let you know. Phil Ailing says, love the site, thank you very much. Simon Trains MRS, can't be a model railway exhibition without the hand of God on the layout. Yes, hand of God is, you get a little tingle off that track, it has to be said. So what are we going to be, we've got the little diminutive little Ruston here coming round. I've just done a review on that. It's a surprisingly good runner, it has to be said. So she's chugging round just all right. Faversham International, I've just dropped a load track pins onto my carpet in my loft. It's annoying, isn't it? But if you've got a magnet, you can certainly get them all up. It's one of the things that actually it's sometimes quite good to. Oh, we've got a misbehaving Loco again. That A1, I'm going to. You can see it juddering into view. So let's find the A1. 60. I am going to change that Loco. So just so we don't end up with a hand of God. We need somebody with a rucksack as well. So somebody who doesn't know what soap's for and has a rucksack pushing through the crowd. Actually, that's one of the things you don't get on this. So let's go to, that is number 9. So let's try a different angle. We'll get some good shots of some trains going round there. And I'm just going to change the A1. So obviously I am open to suggestions when I change the train. So interesting. Fly mode chamber 1. Yes, is it 16 or 18 volts for DCC? It's 18 volts on this system. And I've got one of the DCC Concepts alpha meters. And I've been slowly putting together a Friday update video, which will include that, following on from my visit to DCC Concepts. And it's giving a real-time readout, and it's hovering around 18 volts for the track. And it also tells me that all of this layout is currently only pulling 0.28 amps. It's just 0.28, 0.27, 0.26. It's going back up now. So actually, it's doing all right. Bob Patterson, the Great Paper Depression of 2020. Yes, I'm afraid that the bog roll crisis is going to be the butt of a great many jokes. D827 Kelly says 4mm can be between about 12 to 16 volts. 18 volts is usually O gauge. Yeah, Mark Rice, you're absolutely right on that. Interesting. Maybe I need to reset my. I've got the Cobalt setup. I don't know where. I don't think it's going to harm anything. Maybe it is. I don't know. I will get back in touch with Richard Brighton at some point if he's not watching this stream, and I'll just inquire about that, whether I need to change some settings somewhere. Right, let's get this A1 changed out. So, Leslie Gilpin says, wow, 18 volts is a lot. My NCE power cab came with a 13 volt field. Mark Hadley says, hi Jenny, Springfield Park Yard here. Do you have any coronation class? Yeah, when we started the stream, we had Duchess of Montrose going round. I think it overheated a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about this. Working just fine, but the sound disappeared. So, I do actually have a Duchess of Abercorn. Let's go with Duchess of Abercorn. So, just bear with me a moment. Bish, bash, bosh. Now this is one of the slightly older Hornby models. Interesting. I always thought it held its own, but it's got the older style front bogie and the older style pickup between tender and loco. It's interesting that these are locos that Hornby does retool surprisingly often. 6234. Now I warn you, this loco was not running a long time. 234. It does have sound in mind. So it will just be hoving into view round the top corner just from behind the chat. Flymo Chairman 1 says the original 01 Hornby system was 20 volts. Oh gosh. Haha, Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Tell them Jenny sent you.
That was about where I got the sign from.
Yeah, I saw that, Cupboard Monkey.
Yeah.
Stuart Muir. Hiya Jenny, how are you today? Last weekend I went to the Leamington show. A nice little exhibition. I came away with a second Western Pullman, the Oxford Double Beckons. Oh, definitely. It is a model I wouldn't mind getting one of at some point.
It's the Leamington show where everyone once they've seen the stuff has to jump off a cliff.
No, Zoe, no it isn't.
Or is that the Leamington show?
You're incorrigible. Right, we need we need some nibbles.
What nibbles would you like?
What nibbles do we have?
Well,
we're snowed under with chocolate. Maybe we should get through some of that.
Do you want some? Well, I could make it a cake.
Could
but
do.
I'm a little out of breath, that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah, don't worry too much.
I could get you the Skittles that you were going to put on top of the cake.
Mark Wilson says lockdown means no more going to supermarkets to hoard bog roll. I think that people are running out of space, so they've probably got lofts.
They've certainly run out of brains.
Okay. But look, don't forget to hit that like button as well. We've got 129 people on the stream. How many likes? Mine hasn't updated. It still says 5.
Guys, for those who haven't seen the link in the chat box, I've put out the link to where I got the sign from, the Weir Yard sign.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
Is JAF Graphics.
Yeah, it was something somebody asked right back near the beginning.
Yeah,
so
it took me a while to find the emails to confirm where I'd ordered it from, but I got there in the end. And they do it in a variety of colours, so you can get one that you like. Doesn't have to be that colour that Jen's got.
That new camera angle's going down quite well. I quite like it.
Yeah.
I moved Doctor Who.
Oh no, Doctor Who's disappeared.
Yeah, okay, Zoe, okay. "75 likes," says Railway Music Lover. 75 likes, oh my word. So don't forget to hit that like button. We've got 128 people in the channel.
Oh, come on, let's get it up to 180!
Rob Evans says, "Loo roll, £5 a roll. Anyone wants some?" Did you know you can just use use paper?
B-days?
B-days. You go in the shower if you really, really have to.
Oh, don't go in the shower. That would just be like weird. As in, don't go in the shower.
Norman Rowe says, "I wondered where all the cool people were." Hi Jenny, hi everybody. Welcome along. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this stream too. Let everybody know that it's on. And we're just kind of trying to enjoy watching a little bit of train going by action. I've got a few different camera angles, so let's just work.
Don't get my bum on the screen while I'm climbing down this ladder.
No, don't you worry. I'm trying to find... There we go. Oh, Doctor Who is turned up in a different area. So, Flymo Chairman 1 says, "I've been to festivals where prices for bog roll were at that price." Yeah, festivals don't half gouge, don't they? Combat Bunny says, "Too much info." Yeah, very much. Simon Trains MRS says, 140 people watching now. Hello everybody, welcome along. Just as a recap, what we're up to here, we're just having kind of a virtual exhibition, a kind of trains going by session. So I've got the cameras set up so that I'm not on screen to give you maximum visibility of Weir Yard. And we're going to cycle through all the different camera angles. We've got some trains running in there. And it's just simply a case of as the country goes into lockdown, I know a lot of other countries as well, more or less going to the same thing. We live in interesting times, but it does not mean that we have to forego our daily dose of vitamin train. So hopefully this is a nice little antidote to being sat at home, not being able to buy a loo roll because somebody's bought it already.
someone's already bought already.
57305 Northern Princess, hi to you. Can we have the Metropolitan Railways Bobo? Yes, we can actually. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the Super D. That is to be replaced now with, I'm going to put one of the Metropolitan Vickers Bobos.
Well, while you're on about that, did I hear something about people finding that someone had already bought loo roll? Pre-bought loo roll sounds really dodgy.
Yes, one careful owner.
But the thing about festivals, yeah, they gouge you. At the moment, they charge you to get in, charge you for food, and
drink. Don't forget the drink.
Charge you for drink, and sometimes charge you for bog roll. In a while, they'll be charging you to get back out again.
Yes, you have entered the twilight zone of extortionate overpricing. Right, we're going to have Metropolitan Railway 57305 Northern Princess asked for this. Have you just changed angles?
Yeah, I thought you'd be putting it onto the track, so I changed the angle where you could see it.
Okay. Right, so this is...
Oh, that's a nice looking one.
Yes. So, Metropolitan Vickers, Sarah Siddons type... Well, Sarah Siddons is one of them. This is number 20. Don't ask me what name this had or has, or it's not one... This is in the livery without the name. So,
we'll call it Jenny.
Loco.
You do have a Jenny, don't you? Where's your Jenny?
Oh, it's somewhere.
It's a little pug, isn't it? And you've got a Gronk with my name on it.
Yes.
Run the Gronk with my name on it.
Oh, God, stop mithering me. One at a time.
5 at a time. Go on.
So, we have some kind of...
We have liftoff.
Yes,
One my fault, I didn't do it. I did not do that.
So just bear with
Can't
me.
prove anything. Did you by any chance change the
No, funnily enough I didn't.
It's just your phone's next to that switch. I was wondering whether you'd knocked it.
No. James Moody asks, do you use the under-layout storage yard much? Well, it's full of stuff, if that's what you mean.
We can't show you it though, because Jen moved the camera.
Yes, the camera that's currently trained on the mountain and the tunnels, which I believe is this one, that camera is the camera that was formerly down in the fiddle yard. But until we get lighting sorted down there, it seemed to be a little bit of a waste.
To be honest with you, I don't think any other camera could fit in the location that you've got that, because the sides of the other cameras would knock into the trains as they go past on the top.
They're a bit big.
So I think actually that is the perfect camera to be there.
Yeah, in some respects it's maybe worth looking out for some more of those. They probably come up second-hand at charity shops and stuff. Because they've been around a while. It was gifted to me by my grandfather, who never used it. On account of being blind.
Why has he got a webcam?
It came with the computer, I believe, is the explanation.
That'll do it.
So, creating delicious moments since 1915.
Yes, Jenny isn't sponsored, but she is eating milk tray. Other chocolate varieties are available.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have one since I'm here. I'll have an orange truffle, thank you.
Oh, nice. Big hello to Susanna Joaquin. Tell me, is that the correct pronunciation? Susanna Joaquin?
You know, that is a really good angle to see that that little pond that you spent an afternoon making. We did a nice video on that. I was really impressed.
Yeah. Oh, Izal, the medicated tracing paper style bog roll. I remember that at school. Do you remember the horrible tracing paper?
Once you've tried it, you can never forget it.
Yes.
My bottom still aches at the idea of it.
I remember it being a waste of space.
I remember that a lot of kids in my school taught themselves to eat and drink very little at school so that they didn't have to go to the loo. Just because of that kind of toilet paper. It will give you all kinds of problems.
Leslie Gilpin said, did Zoe wear black with robes, etc. to deliver the milk tray?
Well, I've got a Pink Floyd t-shirt on and that's black.
They were actually delivered earlier today by my little sister for my birthday.
No, that was from your mum.
Was it? Oh, right, of course. My little sister gave me a chocolate orange and a Milky Bar. The Milky Bars are on my little sister. She hates me calling her that.
She is your little sister, though.
Yeah, on account of the fact that she is in her late 30s, she hates me calling her my little sister.
Even though she is.
Yeah.
Since you created Jennytopia, Jenny, is your sister part of your royal family, or have you just got a lineage of you for your royal line?
Something like that.
For the Empire of Jennytopia, which is basically Weir Yard.
Oh, Susanna Joaquin, the ultimate smear test. No!
Oh!
Yeah, James Moody, I remember the stuff. Greaseproof toilet paper. We actually used to use... When I was in infant school was my last exposure to that awful stuff. And we seriously used to use it as tracing paper. When the school ran out of tracing paper, they just told us to go and get loo roll.
Multi-purpose school paper. You could write your exams on it.
Leslie Gilpin says, at infant school we were limited to 2 sheets by teacher. Oh, it's like,
that's terrible.
That is actually pretty bad.
That's child abuse, that is.
But then again, I remember at infant school there were a lot of dodgy teachers. I mean, we're going back some here.
Hey, if you want dodgy teachers, you should have gone to my school.
It's not a competition.
One of them killed himself because the police came to ask him about being a nonce. And another one got caught shagging a student behind the curtains on the stage.
So it really was a nonce.
Particularly because she was a sixth former and 18. But he was a teacher-student position, so a bit dodgy. Oh, strawberry chocolate. So yeah, I bet no one can beat that.
It's not a competition. Anyway, back to the trains. So I've just put what turns out to be a solid toffee one in my mouth. So if I sound like I'm chewing a toffee, technically I am. Simon Trains MRS. The Metropolitan Railway Electric Loco number 20 was named Sir Christopher Wren, withdrawn in 1954 and scrapped after an accident.
Oh, that's a shame. Right, I'm off ski. I'll leave you to it. I'm off to play Pac-Man because I'm annoyed.
A big hello to anybody who's just joined us. The purpose of this does not replace the Jenny Monday Club, which will be taking place from the usual time of
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock GMT on my channel on the Monday, the regular Monday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, indeed. That's still running.
We're just having a day of like a virtual model railway exhibition where we're running trains on request if we've got them. Just have a nice time and a community feel and enjoy the trains.
Very much so. I've just spotted something. The Christopher Wren has been very naughty.
Oh, a derailment?
No. Slip coupling.
Ah.
And that's how free running these coaches are.
Wow, it's a ghost train. Hi.
Smell you later.
You will.
Villett Page says, Hi, Jenny and Zoe from West Orton. Aha, local boy. Hello to you. Railway Music Lover says, I have to watch the replay when I get home from work instead of the live stream. But that's okay, because once the live streams finish, they go up as an ordinary style video, so absolutely fine. But yeah, today's objective is just to provide some light relief to all those people who are holed up at home, surrounded by a lifetime supply of bog roll and beans. But essentially there's a lot of people who are already self-isolating, not because they suspect that they've caught coronavirus, but because they might have a compromised immune system, might be getting on a bit, just in any of the at-risk categories, undergoing treatment for various things. So if you're on chemotherapy, for example. So the idea here is to provide a little bit of entertainment for people, just kind of majoring on the trains running. The regular Monday chat news and stuff will be coming tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have a little bit more news for you. Sunday's always a little bit of a slower news day. But let's load up the train with some chockies. So there's now a little bit of Milk Tray going around. I'm not sponsored by Milk Tray, but I'll be honest with you. If Cadbury's were to offer, I wouldn't say no. Aha! The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout. Good evening to you. Fly Mode Chairman 1. It's alright, we don't talk about you when you're not on the chat, honest. Quick, delete all the messages! No, it's going to be alright. Let's, I'm going to say I've got 4 different camera angles, technically 5, if you include me. There we are. So I am here, just sat watching trains. What I probably ought to do is, you can see a lot of the model behind me, so I'll get out of view. And I'm still here, but you can see the back corner of the layout that you don't normally get to see. So over there you can see the Noch Geisterhaus, which translates, it's a haunted house, literally translates as ghost house. And that was on the Great Model Railway Challenge, on the layout for the Halloween layout. I got there in the end. And all of those terraced houses as well that you see, that terrace came from a number of other layouts. They've actually been on 2 previous layouts. Started out on, I never really had a name for it. I had a layout starting out with proper railway modelling. Made all the mistakes in the book. So they were spread out in 2 locations. They then got combined into that big terrace that you see there, went onto Bolton Trinity Road. And then when I pulled that apart, they've come up here and they fit quite nicely into that corner. I'm going to pinch a chocky off the train, so just bear with me a moment. Oh, Milk Tray's good. Right, let's get Muggins off the screen. Mark Wilson says, Jenny, you have something growing out of your hair. No, I'm wearing my kitty ears. Essentially, it's a hairband. It's an Alice band. It just happens to have kitty ears on. But at the moment, I'm a trifle short of Alice bands to hold my hair back. It's been so long since I've had my hair this short. I've either lost them or they've broken. So it's just to keep my hair out on my eyes at the moment. Mark Wilson, on the Halloween layout, is that where Les and Simon had a meltdown? The editing made it look like that, but that just wasn't the case, it has to be said. Les and Simon got on really well, and artistically they're both in agreement it needed to be done. the TV company edited that up to basically make it look like great TV, which they did. But there was not a bust-up between them. Flymo Chairman 1 says, it looks like that corner is running well. Nice. Simon Trains MRS asks, what era and region is your layout based on? It's notionally in the northeast. It was inspired by Tyne Yard. It's not a model of Tyne Yard, but it was inspired by Tyne Yard, hence the name Weir Yard. Tyne Yard is near the River Tyne. Tees Yard is near the River Tees. So the other major river in the area is the River Wear that runs through Durham. So I decided to call the layout Weir Yard. It has some of the aspects of Tyne Yard. It is inspired by it from trips by in the train in the 1990s when I was up there at university. But I've made a few changes, and essentially I've looked at track plans of the real Tyne Yard back in its heyday and got a sense of where everything needs to go. But at the moment it's running largely in sort of like probably early to mid 1960s changeover period. So there's some BR green diesels knocking about. But then there's also a lot of steam locos. Normally it runs in BR blue tops period, sort of roughly around 1980. But sometimes it's nice to have a change. Jonas Kern says, the short wheelbase of the goods wagons still amuses me. They seem so short compared to wagons here. Yeah, they're very short by modern standards as well. We no longer have wagons that short, generally running on UK railways. But the period that this is running in, they were still very much the norm. I'm going to pinch the other chocky off the train. Right, I think it's time for another check. I think somebody asked as well, is that a class 71 or 74? The blue boxy Loco going around with the van train, that is a Hornby class 71. I would love to get a class 74, but nobody makes a ready-to-run model, unfortunately. Steve Jones says, Mark Holt here, computer still thinks I'm someone else. Is that 6201 Princess Elizabeth? No, that is 6234, which is, I think that's Duchess of Abercorn. Where's she gone? I'll just have a look. I can't remember what name she is. Yeah, Duchess of Abercorn, 6234. I also have Duchess of Montrose in the same livery that the Hornby 00 model was in. And I do have, let me just have a look. I do have a Princess Royal, which is Princess Margaret Rose. Flymo Chairman 1, absolutely right. Hit that like button if you haven't already, folks. Certainly yes. Big hello, welcome back Wardle Road. Good to have you back in, Ollie. And also big name check for Ollie of Wardle Road. Showed me basically how to use the multiple cameras with OBS, which kind of sparked off the ability to get everything up and running like this. D827 Kelly, Silver Fox make a resin body for the Class 74. They do offer, if I remember correctly, a ready-to-run service. Yeah, I know that. They did. They certainly did the Class 7 long before Helgen did it. There's a number of others. I think they offered the Class 23 before Helgen did that too. But I'm I'm quite content to wait and see if Hornby actually chuck out one. There's so many great locos at the moment that it's just simply a case of waiting for things to appear ready to run. Right, I'm going to... Which loco shall I change next? I think the Duchess of Abercorn, when she comes round, I'm going to change her, and let's have a jolly good think. What shall I put on instead of her? So, any suggestions for... Mark Wilson, is that a tartan parcels wagon on the rear? Love that livery. Yes, it is, the Tartan Arrow. It's a Bachmann model. I'm not sure if they're still available, but certainly the CCT in the same livery is definitely still available. And if anybody's wondering what tonight's drink of choice is... Zoe? Oh, no, apparently we're back online. So can I just check with people, are we back online? Can people see the stream okay? We just had, for some reason, there was a drop out there. So, anybody want to just let me know in the chat, has it sorted out okay? Hello? Yes, great, we're back up. Sorry, it just came up and said disconnected. I've never had it do that before. Right, Great Western Railway Loco. The 827 Kelly, what chip did you put in the 48DS? I used a Trainomatic 6-pin decoder. For two reasons. One, it's a really good decoder that fits in perfectly. Very reliable too. And two, Trainomatic, being the regular channel sponsor, I tend to use their DCC decoders when I do my how-to DCC fitting guides, because that's part of the sponsorship deal. You can use a whole host of others. I know the Lens do them that fit. The Hornby one, I've heard a couple of stories of the Hornby decoder running very hot. It's caused a few issues on a couple of people's rocket locomotives. So I've become a little bit warier of those. There may not be a problem, but just something to be aware of. D827 Kelly. No, there is no power pack or stay alive in the 48DS. It's surprisingly reliable with just the match wagon. Now, if you were to lose the match wagon, then yes, certainly one of the Trainomatic Smart Power Packs would be a great idea. And actually, the locomotive is very thoughtfully laid out, such that there is an easy way of fitting one in. Despite the limited space, it would have to go in the cab, but there is a way through from inside the locomotive body into the cab that doesn't impinge on how it looks, but makes fitting stuff like that, and sound as well, really, really easy. So it is a great design. Right, I'm going to swap out Duchess of Abercorn, and let's just have a look. Great Western Railway. What do we have? I think a star class. I think this is a star. It's either a Saint or a star. Somebody will put me right. I'm just going to grab that out. Let me just put Duchess of Abercorn back in her place. Ooh. Excuse me, I just grazed the microphone, so that if you're wondering what on earth that weird noise was, that's just my skirt brushing over the microphone. So what we've got here is Knight of St. Patrick. It's either a star, a Grange, or a Saint. I'm sure somebody will immediately post in the comments and tell me which one it is. Come on, get on the track. Right, so oh, my eyesight's not what it used to be. 4013. So Loco 4013. It is sound fitted, incidentally. And it's not run in a little while, so I'm going to send it around a little bit faster than I would normally, just until it shines up the wheels. Yeah, Tim JD Dowd says, Saint, I think. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. Welcome back to Gary Lewis. Flymo Chairman says, is that Annabelle from the Southern Underground Loco? No. I think if you're referring to the Metropolitan Vickers, that's a it's a Helgen model, Metropolitan Vickers. It's number 20, Christopher Wren. J94 says it's a star. Aha. Mark Wilson says, sounds like someone's being strangled. Oh, okay. Morris Modelling, hi to you. Big hello to everybody. Let's just have a look at some of the comments. D827 Kelly says, thanks. I have one needing a chip at some point. Keep Alive would be a must, so I'll probably lose the permanent wagon connection. I can well recommend, actually. I know I'm sponsored by them, so people go, you're paid to promote them. But I would not allow myself to be sponsored by a product that I didn't truly believe in. And, that star has lost its... where has it left all the... Oh, come on, go back. Actually, no, I'm going to bring the coaches round to it. It's somehow managed to lose all the coaches. But yeah, Train-O-Matic is a product that I truly believe in. They are a great product. No complaints whatsoever. Everything that I say about them is truly my opinion. And, I stand by it. It's a really good product. So I can well recommend the Smart Power Pack and their 6-pin decoder coupled together would make it an amazing performer. It has to be said. Mark Wilson says a star. Tim. Oh, right. I've gone right back. That's the one. Christopher. Sorry, I wasn't listening. But heard. Right. No worries. Mark Wilson says, "Got to go soon. Gonna camp outside Morrison's to get bog roll in the morning." Are they not open 24 hours? Now, a little top tip for you. And I know that they've kind of got rid of restrictions, but supermarkets generally get a lot of their deliveries probably around 10 o'clock at night. So if you turn up about midnight, they should have got some stuff out. And if not, have a hunt around. You'll find the bog roll on a pallet in an aisle somewhere waiting to be unpacked and loaded up. So you can just grab it at source, as it were. Don't forget to like this video, share it as well, let other people know what we're up to. Let's get the more the merrier. We've got 155 in the chat room at the moment. It's great to have your company, and this is really just planning on being a little bit of an antidote to quarantining, having to hide yourself away. I know we live in very interesting times. There's quite a few people already quarantining, and a lot of countries as well, places like Spain, Italy. There's a huge lockdown going on, and I fear that Britain will be the next one. America's shutting its borders. I believe Norway has announced that international flights may be cut off. We're going to go... I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So until further notice, the idea is to use Weir and the cameras that I've got up here to provide a little bit of light relief with being able to just watch trains go by, which is why, as you can see, I've removed myself off the screen so you can see as much as possible. And at the moment, we're enjoying a little bit of... that's actually the back scene that you saw the video Les created. Just pastels on there. It really is great, and really... I have to say that I was absolutely honoured that Les did the back scene for me. Leslie Gilpin says, not on a Sunday night, Jenny. Sunday training. I'd forgotten it was Sunday. You're absolutely right. Robot Monkey says, we've had lots of routes and times changed. Yeah, Gary Lewis says, shop there after work, Sunday night, Monday morning. Yeah, Norman Rowe, I think you're right. Buckle up for a month or two. The aim is that we'll probably be doing this. If exhibitions are getting cancelled left, right and centre, then this is going to become, for the duration of the coronavirus problem, we're going to be doing this. I do apologise. The Cupboard Monkey has decided now is a good time to hoover. So you're probably hearing the hoover a little bit in the background. But yeah, until everything starts to get back to normal, we're going to make this a semi-regular feature on the Sunday. So don't forget to check in from 6 p.m. GMT, although I believe we're going over to British Summer Time shortly. And it's always great to have you in. Don't forget to tell everybody as well that we're here, that we're doing this. And this is the antidote to self-isolation. You can come and watch the trains, enjoy the trains, and we've got a few different camera angles going on. Let me just see. I'm trying to get you some of the camera angles, some of the different ones. Robot Monkey asks, has Ali Pali confirmed that they have cancelled? Not yet. We believe that will come during this week if the government announce that large gatherings are getting shut down, then Alexandra Palace will be cancelling. So far, it has to be said, Hornby have pulled out, Gauge Master have pulled out, and I believe a number of exhibits have pulled out. There may even be other traders and manufacturers pulled out. I don't know at this stage. Hopefully we'll have a full roundup on the Jenny Monday Club tomorrow. Don't forget to set your watches, 7 p.m. GMT, all are welcome. Let everybody know that we're doing that. And we'll see what happens. You know, we live in very interesting times. But as of this moment, Alexandra Palace is still officially on. But just keep an eye on the news. Norman Rose says, I spread the word over here. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Mark Wilson asks, did the Cupboard Monkey come pre-trained 11 years ago, or did you have to train her? No, we've been together actually longer than 11 years. Might even be about 13 years now. No, she kind of evolved into the Cupboard Monkey. Just going to do a little bit of track cleaning. What's interesting is that van train is making the track go quite dirty. It is surprising how dirty that train of fans is making the track, it has to be said. Mr. Davil 43 says, I've got tickets for Ali Pali but won't be going even if it's on. And yeah, that's the thing. I think even the events that are running, certainly this weekend, I've heard from a few people who, like traders or exhibitors at these places, and they're saying that the people just aren't coming through the door. Yeah, D827 Kelly, you're absolutely right. I think everybody's waiting for what the government announced, but in all honesty, I think we're going to see a lockdown. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Ali Pali. Certainly, Team Rail Riders, we've lost Les Cliff. He's perfectly well. He's at home, but Les Cliff is undergoing treatment for leukemia and has therefore been advised that he must not do it. It's just he can't risk exposing himself. Stefan Nielsen is coming from Sweden, but I learned yesterday that whilst Currently, he would be able to fly to the event unless anything changes. He cannot then get home. There would be no flight home for him, so he's going to drop out. And then myself and Simon A.C. Martin both have scarring in our lungs from previous illnesses in the past. And that means that we're being recommended not to go as well. So.
Yeah, she's got a covered monkey referral to stay here. Right. You're going to hate me, Jen.
Why?
Because you fear change.
What have you done?
I've moved the sofas.
Oh, that was what the hoovering was.
Yeah.
How have you... what configuration?
Okay. You know where the little mat is, the rug in the lounge?
Yes.
Well, the sofa's now kind of right up against the mat, so I've made a space that you can walk straight through the room instead of going in front of people when they're watching TV.
So you're saying you've moved the Dr. Evil swivel chair forward?
Yes, and that's why I had to hoover, because my goodness.
Have you covered the back so that Fred can't...
Yeah.
We tried that configuration before.
We did it the other way around. The first time that we did it, the sofa was along parallel to the wall and making the walkway. This time we've got the sofa pointing straight to the TV, so... Makes a nice setup. Anyway, I'm going to go and play Minecraft to test out whether it's in the sofa is an optimal location for gaming.
Mark Wilson says, if it all goes into lockdown, I really do think you should release Les to fend for himself. It's the right thing to do. No, he's in the model railway dungeon and he's quite happy down there.
He writes home regularly to his family to tell them that he's enjoying it, and Jenny doesn't edit the letters at all, honest. My dearest wife, I am Jenny, and I am writing this on behalf of Les.
Oh, the one in the middle's nice.
Yeah,
sorry, we're scuffing milk tray here.
I'll have one more now. I'm going to craft some mines.
Right, let's have a look through the comments.
Bye-bye.
Morris Modlin says, well, you know what they say. Trucks are silly, dirty things, especially vans. Yeah, this is a reference to the dirt I'm finding on the track, it has to say. Essentially, I think it's because I oiled all of their axles to make sure that it was free running. Doesn't seem to have worked. There's quite a lot of drag on that train, but it does mean I'm getting black gunge on the track. Robot Monkey says, I was really looking forward to seeing the War of the Worlds layout and meeting you all, but my final exams got scheduled for 23rd and 24th, with my birthday on the 27th. Wish me luck, boys and girls. Well, good luck for your exams. But do not worry. War of the Worlds may well be going on semi-permanent display. It's on loan, is the plan, to Bolton Model Rail Society for their new club room area. So it does seem that is where it's going to be going. So it will turn up at other events. Flymo Chairman 1, the atmosphere can breathe a sigh of relief as the pollution has changed dramatically over some affected cities. Yeah, it was one of the fringe benefits. Look to the positive things. Wuhan, for example, perfectly pristine clear air. Mark Hadley, Jenny, can you do a piece on sound chips? Best, cheapest, value for money? I tend to use, in the main, I've got mostly TTS sound chips, and I actually really quite like them. And for value for money, they're great. Mark Wilson asks, Jenny and Zoe, do you have any pets? My cat is a nuisance on the tracks. Yes, we have a nuisance cat, but she can't get up here. She can't climb up the ladder. Will Tucker asks, sorry for joining late. No, absolutely welcome. Join in and out anytime you want. It's not a problem. And also you can watch this on the stream afterwards. Not a problem. But sorry if you've already dealt with this. No, I haven't actually. But Rails of Sheffield advertised 5 versions of the Metro Electric Bobo, but some are available to order. That basically means that they've sold out. Don't try and buy one that says available to order. It means they can't get any more by and large. As far as I'm aware, there are no more of these until Helgen do another batch. They will do another batch. Patterns have none. Yeah, it's discontinued. But like I say, it will be back in the catalogue at some point. Mr. Davil43 says, okay, it's contrary to official advice, but I'm stockpiling lots of kits to keep me going through the emergency. Mark Wilson asks, which is the best milk tray chocolate? The one in the middle, it's like an apple crunch. It is quite nice. Mark Wilson asks, Jenny, do you have a station like the last layout? What happened to it? There is no station up here. Weir Yard does not have a station anywhere on the layout. The station from Trinity Road, right, the platforms completely scrapped, ended up in the bin. They were made of balsa wood and card. There's no way they could be salvaged into anything. They have literally been scraped up and gone in the bin. The rest of the platform level buildings, some of them have gone into a little crew signing on office. They've been built up into that. You wouldn't really recognise them, but they are here. And the main station building is the military establishment. That building is Trinity Road's main station building. It lives on, and it's a focal point here. You're absolutely welcome. He said, thanks for the answer. Absolutely welcome. Maria Hollyman, thanks. Love modelling. And it's great fun. And it's one of this, my father actually is, because he's 72, so they're already in lockdown. He is getting me to get him some supplies, and he's actually going back into scratch building models. It's something that he used to do about pushing 40 years ago, and he's going to be doing that to keep himself sane during the lockdown. So that'll be great to see. But modelling is a great creative outlet, and I think that this enforced lockdown across the world in various places is going to allow a lot of people to kind of rediscover the hobby. The Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout says, my cat only once got into the railway room, ate 2 lampposts. Yeah, cats do that. Fred is a real... Fred's the cat, short for Winifred, a female cat. But she loves to destroy stuff. There's a weird smell coming from downstairs. I think the cupboard monkey is currently burning a cake or something like that. Mark Wilson says, I can't get my favourite Wix glues anymore. They have run out, strong clear and also contact adhesive about 3 weeks ago. I'm wondering if they come from China. Yeah, a lot of things come from China, so there's a real supply issue. We're seeing this in railway modelling by virtue of the fact that a lot of the Hornby models, the 2020 range that were due for release, so like the main range version of the Stephenson's Rocket, that release has been put back, and I believe quite a few other things simply because of this shutdown in China. Paul Hinder says, chocolate cake. D827K, they've got to go, catch you later. No worries, it's been great having you along, and we may even still be up and running. I don't know how long this stream is planning on going. I've got no plans, basically. It's simply a case of, let's just see how things go. But let's fire up the Class 8. You've seen it sat there. So, let's see if we can follow the chart the progress of that Loco. Hopefully it'll get round. I don't normally run Locos through that part of the layout. Oh no, it's the track's a little bit hazy in places, so let's have a look. Can we find the... Yes, there we are. So you're now seeing the Class 8. Let's... Oh. has a few issues, it has to be said. Oh. Wrong one. So, yeah, there you are. You can see the Class 8 coming into view down the centre of the marshalling yard. Mark Wilson says, when it's over, we're in for a massively busy times. Football, Grand Prix, exhibitions, gigs, etc. All at the same time. It'll be mental. Yeah, Melchester Model Railway, you're absolutely right. Smart Power Pack would be definitely something good to have. So there we are. Mark Hadley says, good night, Jenny. Got to go. Great night. What topics for tomorrow? It's going to be about the lockdown, exhibitions, difficulty getting stock. There's a lot of different things to talk about, it has to be said. So stay tuned to this frequency. I'm going to try and find out a lot more about what's going on. But it's an ever-changing landscape, it has to be said. You know, nobody has the answers. It's why there's no definitive word on certain things getting cancelled, because quite literally nobody knows. They're waiting for that advice from the government. It's coming Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground, and I will let you know on that. We're not finishing the stream, incidentally. It just somebody mentioned about that for topics. Mark Hadley did. So I'm not sure. I'm open for people suggesting topics. Mr. Davil43 says, I'm committed to having my layout in an exhibition in October, so trust I survive and all is well by then. I think it should be... should be okay. Right, by then I would hope. Right, let's get that Class 8 back through the yard. So you now all know where that line leads. So we're going to... You'll see it come through the middle there. Paula Thomas says, my old XO3 Class 8 seems to run better than yours. Fancy one, Jenny. Makes a nicer growl too. Mine's actually sounds like what a real Class 8 would sound like, it has to be said. I'm going to just clean very quickly that little bit of track. There we go, that might help. There she blows. Mason Bennett says loads of wagons. Absolutely right, there are quite a few in there. Let's see. Let's see if she gets through okay. Oh, a bit of a stutter, but we're still going. Not often you see locos running through the yard. Melchester Model Railway, scratch build challenge from Lou Roll. Oh no, I hated the scratch build challenge. That's why I never did it. Although those that did, there was actually some great modelling came out from that, has to be said. Right, let's see, can we find... Here she comes. So, yeah, now you know you can follow the Loco all the way through the yard. Actually, a bit of a clean of the track has worked out quite well there. Combat Bunny, absolutely right. Smash that like button. Also, share it too. Let other people know that we're live and we're playing trains. So, I'm just going to park that there. And let's shut the sound down for a little bit. Right. Fly Mode Chairman 1. This too shall pass. Yes, none may pass. Okay, let's go and dress up as nuns. That's actually a Fistful of Fingers joke reference, which was one of Edgar Wright's very early films. Starred Jeremy Beadle and somebody who went on to be in EastEnders, I think. Right, time to change some locos, so I am going to stop the Ruston 48DS. What I need to do now is I'm going to just take the army van off, because that is mine, and I'm going to put it back in the box. A little bit warm, but not too warm. So, let's put that there a moment. What am I going to run around the centre line? Now, I have to be a bit careful here because not everything will run round. So, somebody mentioned the chromatic blue class 25. So let's go all 25 all of the time. And I'm going to add to this a couple of Mark 1 Suburban coaches. Pretty much the least successful of all the Mark 1 designs. Didn't really last beyond the early to mid 1970s. So Loco 5218. Put the lights on. Right, that's the chromatic blue Loco. Let's see if we can follow that round. Oh, Railway Music Lover. Jen, could you do the class 25? Boom, already done. You're going to see it come into view in a moment on the top level there. So where you see the bridge, you'll see it come in across there. Norman Rose says, good night, Jenny. Brilliant idea. Good for you. Bye all. Take care. You take care too. And don't forget as well to tune in for the Jenny Monday Club tomorrow at the usual time. So there we are. The chromatic blue class 25 going for a spin with a pair of Mark 1 Suburban coaches. Now, I'm just going to go silent just a little moment because I'm going to put that 48DS back in the box. It's not mine, so it's a loaner for doing the review, so obviously it has to go back. But don't forget as well, you can check out my full-on review of the Ruston 48DS. It's a lovely little model, it has to be said. It's one of Hornby's best locos, in my opinion. There's a couple of little gripes I had with it, but nothing that kind of, nothing causing major problems. Right. And any other suggestions for locos? Elven Home Engage Model Railway. Evening, Jenny. Evening to you. Have been watching for a while and thoroughly enjoying myself while scratch building, while watching your trains go by. Thank you. You're absolutely welcome. Philip Page. You're in first. Can you run a class 50, please? Mason Bennett. We've already had a class 20. We might go back to the class 20 a little bit later on. Leslie Gilpin. Righto, guys. I need my fix of Antiques Roadshow. Veneer. As I've told, I've done enough social isolation for one night. It's the domestic authorities claiming that actually you need to continue your isolation with them in front of the TV. J94 was going to ask if the chromatic blue class 25 was DCC fitted, but I thought it might be a stupid question. Pretty much all my models are now DCC fitted. I actually fitted a J39 split chassis Bachmann J39 earlier today because, like many people, become a little bit tired of waiting for Bachmann to retool that, and I think it's going to be very expensive when they do. So in the space of 15 minutes flat, I took it from DC to DCC, no problems whatsoever. Right, what was I going to... that's it. I'm going to stop. Where's number 20? So, just going to stop you there. You can't actually see it on screen, but I'm changing the Christopher Wren. Doesn't actually have the name Christopher Wren on, but I'm told number 20 was Christopher Wren. And then let's go class 50. So, which one is which? Yeah. So we're going to have a class 50. This is fitted with TTS sound. The thing about the TTS sound, I do really rate them, but they sell out ever so quick because they are popular and really keenly priced. It has to be said. So get them whilst you can. I know the Class 50 sound chip seems to have sold out. The Class 8 one went very, very quickly, it has to be said. So look at 5002. There she goes. Wrong one. 7. Still not got round to learning all my hotkeys now, so we'll get there eventually. There we go. It's quite a loud one, this. So, there you go, class 50. Mark Wilson, no, I don't have a class 40, it has to be said. Railway Music Lover says, I have 46 DCC locomotives and still have about 50 or so to do. Yeah, I've got about 175 DCC fitted and around 25 not done for various reasons. Either they're old split chassis locos, which I have no intention of doing. I did as a proof of concept one of my class 4s, but the other two are not going to get done. There's a number of XL and Y pugs as well, which I'm not going to bother doing. Old Bachmann J72s with the split chassis, not doing that. And there's a few A4s as well with split chassis, not doing them either. Austin Allegro asks, do you have any plans for a catenary set up for the early 60s model electrics? No plans whatsoever, I have to be said. New Mills Model Railway, do you have the Hornby 72XX, Jenny? Minus a slight whirly noise. It's not too concerning as my Bachmann Ginty has similar. I do have a 72XX. We might get her out in a bit, actually. I need to... what should be the next one to... Actually, we'll get the Star class. I think we'll bring that one up next. And... we'll change that over. But I don't have a class 40. David Curry says, hi Jenny, enjoying the video and chat. Just seen you cleaning the track with a track rubber. When I clean the track, I use a rubber followed by IPA on a cloth to remove residue left by the rubber. Yeah, it might be an option, but it's just... time as much as anything. Yeah, J94, I don't recommend the Lima Class 50. I have had them pass through my... I had one, I got gifted one, and to be honest, I gifted it on. I was not impressed by it. Railway Music Lover, I have one of the Class 50s, Jenny. Mine is in large logo Arc Royal, and TTS sound was fitted by myself. Yeah, it's quite easy to do. I've got two, both in Network Southeast, and they are lovely Locos. I did have a third in large logo blue, but I got persuaded to sell it to a friend. J94, Jenny, there's a Class 50 at the GCR that has that livery. Yeah, there's a few about. I wouldn't mind the Intercity liveried one, actually. Mark Wilson says, do you have a Deltic? Absolutely my favourite sound. I have the prototype Deltic DP1, and then I've also got a production Deltic 55020 Nimbus, neither of which are sound fitted. Timber Surf, back for 15. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Gerard Gilmet, the scenery rocks. Thank you very much. There's a lot of work done on quite a bit of the scenery here, and one of the best angles, I think, for displaying some of the scenery, as you can see there. I was quite pleased to get this angle in because I felt that Les's handiwork needed to be shown. But I'm just going to see if I can adjust that round just a little bit. Just get a little bit more of the mountain in. So there we go. Will Tucker says, first we heard Cupboard Monkey hoovering, now you're running a Class 50. If she whistles tomorrow, will we see a Class 40? Hey. Railway Music Lover says, I have some split chassis Locos, but they may end up in the box still or on an isolated line. They can be DCC fitted. It is a bit of work. I've done two. I've done the Bachmann Class 4 shunter and the Bachmann J39 as well. I'm both readily able to do it. The J39 has a similar internal construction to the split chassis Bachmann A4s, and I believe as well the Bachmann Lord Nelsons as well. So they would be easy enough to do, but I have so many of the Hornby Super Detail A4s. Let's just I'm gonna change that one. I'm going to turn the sound off on the 50. It has to be said, I find the sound gets tedious very quickly. Yeah, you can convert split chassis Locos. You just got to ask yourself whether you want to. The Class 4 and the J39 are both models currently not available in any other form other than split chassis, so that's why I've made the effort with them. As for Lord Nelson, I've got the Hornby model. It's a much better model. As for the A4 Pacifics, I've got the Hornby Super Detail models, much better models. So, it swings and roundabouts. And the J72, they have introduced an all-new model, and I am quite tempted by that. Right. What did I... Oh, yeah, that was it. 72XX is going to be next up on the tracks. Somebody asked about her, so let's deploy the 72XX. Seven, 2, 3, 3. And my eyesight's not what it used to be. It's very hard to see these small numbers from a distance. 7, 2, 3, 3. Let's give it a nudge and see if we can get her going. She hasn't run in a long time. There she goes. So, you're going to see the Class 50s just coming into view, but just above the Class 50 there, you're seeing the 72XX start to make its way round. Tony Wright says, hi Jenny, enjoying the chat, and do you have a Bulliard Q1, and if so, please run it. Bulliard Q1 is actually, I don't know, can you see there. My finger is actually tapping on the top of it there. So yes, I do have the Bulliard Q1. We'll get her out in a bit. Just working our way through various locos. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Railway music, love it. Yeah, I've not got a Class 40. It's a locomotive that I really want to get in rail blue with the tops number, but currently they're not currently being made, as far as I can tell. I've not been able to source one at a reasonable price. So Class 40, it is on my watch list, so to speak. I do have a sound chip for one. I've got the Hornby TTS Class 40 sound chip, currently inside a Class 25, which sounds most peculiar with it, but it seemed a safe enough place to store it. Yeah, Gerard Gilmet, yeah, absolutely right. So, house rules, please no talk about the virus. This is supposed to be an escape from the virus. That double slip is, not double slip, the... having a few issues with the scissor crossing. Scissor crossing? Yeah, the scissor crossing. I do keep cleaning it, but locos do seem to be determined to stall out on it. So might need a bit of work going on there. But yeah, no virus talk. I mean, occasionally I'll mention the reason why we're doing this, which is the virus. But I think people want a bit of escapism, so just... if people can just respect that, that'd be great. Let's have a look. Jenny ought to put a Class 40 on her shopping list, especially for a wear yard layout. Several were based at Thornaby T's yard in their day. Yeah, I would love to. It's one of the things that I would have been looking out for at Alexandra Palace. What I might do is I might have a word with Rails of Sheffield and see if they've got any passing through second hand. Just basically keep an eye out for them for me in the right. I want the pretty new super detail Class 40 in rail blue with tops numbers is what I'm after. So Mark Rice, hi Jen, Zoe making your birthday cake. I believe she is actually. Mark Wilson, Jenny, how many trains can you run at once at one time, and can we have a brake van consist tomorrow, please? I am actually quite tempted by that. What I might do is, just for the laugh of it, I will replace that van train that you're currently seeing going round on the screen. I'm going to replace that, I think, with just brake vans, and let's see how long a train of brake vans can I actually have going round. You know, just for the fun of it, because those that van train does seem to have quite a bit of resistance going on. So I'll clear that off the track for tomorrow. So let's change angles again. There's the van train going round, and Class 50 just passing by. It's quite a nice angle, not necessarily for watching the trains, but let's just see what else have we got. Control Shift. Oops, wrong one. Again, wrong one. I'm trying to find the right angle. No, we've just had that. So by process of elimination, it must be this one. There we are. New Mills Model Railway. Got my Bachmann Railway Children train pack running here. That is actually one of the train packs I would have loved to have got. I did like that one. Unfortunately, the model shop that had a huge amount of stock of it has recently closed down, and we're not entirely sure what happened to all the stock, it has to be said. Oh yeah, sorry, how many trains can I run at once? Right, well, I've upgraded the power. I've got a 5 amp booster, which is the DCC Concepts Alpha Cobalt booster something or other, and it's great. It's not even taxing it, and we've got 4 trains running. I've had a 5th one running at the same time. So far, the most I've ever had running at once was 7, and it's quite clear that the layout is not even taxed. I could probably run 15 to 20 locomotives at the same time if I had enough tracks to do it, before I ran the risk of maxing out the system. Right, I'm just going to put the... I've got a locomotive that I've just taken off. Oh, the hell was that? Oh, no! My phone dropped again. Let me just check and make sure. Yes, we are still charging. Oh, the cupboard monkey is coming. Oh, what's wrong? Are you all right, Jen?
Everything okay?
I knew you'd say something like...
Need a towel?
No, it wasn't the drink. It was my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't forget to like this channel, share too, and if you've not already done so, do please subscribe. Basically, let's have a look. Gerard Guillemette, I'm definitely subbing to this. Thank you very much, and don't forget as well, tell all your friends as well. We've got plenty of stuff going on the channel. J94.
Yeah, she's keeping me very, very busy making stuff for her. Every time I make a video and upload it for her into a buffer, she makes me do 2 more.
J94 says, I have a mainline split chassis J72 that I took to my model railway club layout just to give it a larger space to run. At the moment, it seems okay. I've not had any issues with split chassis locos, particularly, certainly the newer ones. I know some of the older ones can suffer a lot, but I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't make a habit of DCC fitting them, but for the Class 4 shunter, I do really like my Class 4 shunters. I've done one of them. I could be tempted to do the other BR blue one, but I certainly won't be doing the BR black one. My J72 I'm not going to do. I'm just going to be getting the all-new Bachmann one, I think. It really does look nice. Mark Wilson says, yes, love a brake van train. Went on one on the Severn Valley Railway, hauled by 2 Class 8s. The cupboard monkey is messing around, I have to say. Just, no, you do not play snooker with my Land Rover's cupboard monkey. New Mills
There's
Model
always
Railway.
got to be a model railway exhibition as a kid who can't keep their hands to themselves.
Railway Music Lover says, I got one of mine off a certain auction website. Would that be eBay by any chance? And the other
eBay gum, the Yorkshire version.
Yeah, and the other from the Great Central Railway Model Exhibition last year. New Mills Model Railway says, I got the train back for a bargain £80 from Ian Allen's in Birmingham, now closed. Oh, yeah. Ian Allen's in Birmingham was a great place. I have been there, and it is unfortunate to see that it's closed. Are you cooking something downstairs, by any chance?
No, I've got incense on.
Oh, right, that would be it. Timberserve says, Jenny, as you've chipped so many locos, do you use a 4-digit address, and have you found they are all unique, or are you getting clashes? So far, yes, I am using 4-digit addresses. So far, I've been lucky. None of my locos, apart from one, possibly 2, demanded the same number. So I've got 2 Aspinall radials in the Lancashire and Yorkshire livery. They're both number 1008, just slight variations on the livery, both National Railway Museum commissions. So one of them has actually got numbered as number 1009. And then what I've also found is that number 1 is in short supply. I've got 2 locos which should theoretically be number 1. My DP1 Deltic has retained number 1, and the other one had to become number 2. But that's the only clash that I've actually ended up having.
Who is number 6?
Yes.
You? No, that's not right. You are number 6. Who is number 1? I am not a number. I am a free womble.
Steve Jones says, my holiday is cancelled. I think there's quite a few people, unfortunately. It's a sign of the times at the moment.
You could do what that couple did on that Twitter video we were watching earlier on.
Oh yes, the virtual cruise.
Yeah, they put deck chairs right next to a TV and put their feet up and watched a YouTube stream of the ocean.
But Jenny, did you ever go train spotting? Asks Mark Wilson. Nope, never. James Hardy, Jenny, can you double head a Black 5 and a Jubilee? Now, I used the Gauge Master, let's have a look, what is it? The Gauge Master Prodigy Express 2, and I have had great difficulty setting up double heading on that. So, I at the moment, I just won't be able to do that.
That's a shame. How would you jump ahead with DCC then?
Oh, you set a consist is how you do it. Kenneth,
Do you want to explain that for the audience? Because there's a few of your audience won't have DCC.
Basically, you tell it to group a number of locos together, and they should run as if they're double-heading. Effectively, they run as if they're one big locomotive, I suppose. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get it to work properly.
Would that require them all to be on the same track, or could you set up consist of multiple tracks and just essentially program your layout?
You could program multiple locos as the same number, and they'd run on different tracks, but they'd all respond to the same command.
Wow. That could be quite useful.
Kenneth Ljungberg just got an EM2. That's the Helgen Class 77. That's another one. I'm good for now, but Covered Monkey. Trying to mind drinking, which obviously is weird for... Although
I was trying to... You could have just shook your head.
Yeah. At some point, I'm going to need you to sit in the hot seat, because I actually need to go to the loo.
Switch over.
So I'm going to just hand over... I'm going to actually zoom through the comments, unfortunately.
You've got to love this, haven't you? We've essentially set this up so you can't see it, so it's essentially like radio with a layout going, and she still has to explain why she's not here.
Yeah, well, anyway, look, I'm going to give you the ultimate...
Hello, guys. How are you
can
doing?
I just remind everybody, no virus talk, please. We're trying to do basically the alternative to the virus quarantine, whatever you call it. This is light relief from all that. We're going to be watching the trains going by. So those of you who are not quite sure what's going on, don't forget to like this video, share it too as well, let other people know. We're basically having a virtual model railway exhibition, just showing you trains running up here on Weir Yard, and it's a big layout. So we've got 4 different camera angles set up, and I'm struggling actually to get there. Oh, I seem to be...
Which one are you trying to find?
This one, I think, by default.
By process of elimination.
By process of elimination, I found where the trains are running. But essentially, this is going to be a semi-regular thing, hopefully on Sundays from 6 p.m, currently GMT. We're going to British summertime at some point. And this is just light relief for anybody who's locked down, quarantined.
And everyone else who wants to turn up as well.
Yeah, and anybody who's missing model railway exhibitions.
Yeah, we're not going to let anyone feel left out here.
Right,
so,
I'm going to hand you over
popping off for 5 minutes.
I'm just going for a comfort break, so I'm leaving you with the Cupboard Monkey, which I have to admit is probably a dangerous move, but just slap her into shape.
Hello everyone. I don't worry, I can talk trains somewhat. I want to talk to you first about the plans we have for the underground layout that I was trying to get Jen to help me with. I don't normally build model trains, I'm an aircraft person. However, I do have an interest in model making. Not really anything running on it, I'm going to entirely automate the entire thing. But I do like building things, so we've been planning for quite a while. The London Underground, we're going to do, I want to call it Parliament Street. It's not going to be an actual underground station, so no one can come along and say, well, you got that wrong because I use this one every day and it doesn't look like that. However, it will be recognisably the underground. So the plan at the moment is Jen kind of put it together in her head as what if we had one of those heat tray trolley things that you can have for dinner parties, that style of shape and size for the base unit of it. And I think that's quite good. I would have one drawer that would be a pull-out set of controls, and another one for storage of the locomotives and rolling stock while it was going to and from wherever it was being used. Then on top of that would be an underground station, and then above that would be another line on the underground station. Above that would be kind of escalators and a few other things like that, and then right at the top would be the entrance and a street scene. That's the plan. So, while we were at that DCC Concepts place, we were looking at how they do their automated stuff, where you can essentially flick a switch to turn on the layout, and it will control things as if going back and forward. So, the plan that I've got in my head is both active lines, would have a system like that on it, where it would essentially shuttle back and forward, but you wouldn't see it, because it would curve round in bits that you wouldn't see. So the train would come through, stop, pull out of the station and go off round the back, and then stop, and then come back after a few minutes and go the other way. That's the plan anyway. At the moment. Whether that actually turns out to be true is a different matter, but that's how I'm going to automate it, because I'm not interested in making something that I would have to do hands-on with. The idea of running the locomotives is secondary to building the thing. I'm very much a detail person. So, I think that would work quite well. And the main reason I want to do this is because I want to put Paddington Bear and a Womble on the station and see how long it takes for people to find it. That's my plan. And also, I just like making models. So that's my my plan for it. And then it could be taken here, there, and everywhere, and maybe set up next to whatever Jen's showing at an exhibition and just left to run all day. So that's my idea. What else have we got? Let's have a look at the comments. What have we got here? Kenneth Youngberg says, "Hi, hello Jennifer. I'm from Sweden. Hi Kenneth. Vad när du det? Jag är från engelsk." I'm hoping that my Scandinavian was good enough there. I speak Norwegian, not Swedish, but they do sound quite similar. Mark Wilson's asking here, Zoe, how come the first Doctor was a Granddad and not a Time Lord? Okay, well, you've got to remember that when Doctor Who started with the first Doctor, they had no idea what they were doing. They had a show that was basically going to be slightly educational, slightly entertainment, where you would go to the past and the future. They didn't know what was going on. They had the idea that the Doctor and Susan were exiled, but they didn't know where from, and they kind of had the idea that he's probably human. He became a Time Lord later on when it was more interesting for him to be an alien than a human, and also they had to explain how he'd regenerated. But at first, he was a Granddad, yes. But that doesn't mean he couldn't be a Time Lord. I know that in the Extended Universe novels, they explained that Time Lords don't have families the same way that we do, but that's kind of been retconned for the new series, so he could still be a Granddad and be a Time Lord. In fact, Christopher Eccleston version kind of made that sure. Made that certain. He mentions being a Granddad now and lost his family. So he could be both. So, what else have we got here?
Are you boring them with Doctor Who?
Jen says, am I boring people with Doctor Who? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Stop it now. That's not big and not...
Mark Rice says, Zoe, don't burn the cake. I haven't even started cooking it yet. I've been playing Minecraft.
Aww.
Sorry, Jen. Yeah. So, Jen's back now. I hope I haven't bored you too much with my explanation of the plan for the underground model and how it will work and how it will be automated. I really want to get that, the underground set that the London Underground store sells, and you can add the sound in as well.
I think they're sold out and also very expensive.
They are very expensive. What I would love to do is get the underground models and make them sound fitted, and then just have it run all day and annoy the hell out of whoever's next to it. Like, mind the gap. It's like, I am minding the gap. You've been saying that for 6 hours. Please stop.
Right.
And occasionally, I'd love as well, if it's possible, to have attached into the system, every now and again, like when the train goes over a certain point, for it to click a thing that will randomly determine whether it plays a noise or not, and then have a busker just play for a little bit. Randomly.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Just a random piece of tunage. Anyway, guys, Jen is back, so I'm going to let her get back to chatting. Hope you enjoyed your break. I'll see you guys later. I'm off to play Minecraft.
I certainly enjoyed my break. It was most necessary. But we're back now.
Yes, your butt is back.
Have you had some chocolate?
I have not. I will have a chocky.
Okay, we're just...
chocolate-tastic.
So, I hope that Zoe, a.k.a. the Cupboard Monkey, a.k.a. Gamehammer Classic Gaming, has not bored you too much. Kenneth, how would you pronounce that? Ljungberg? Lundberg. I'm a Swede that likes English trains. Oh, good on you. Chaz Walsh, Doctor Who, great TV show, but isn't that from the 70s, 80s? Doctor Who started in the 60s. In fact, was shown the same day that that JFK got assassinated. Ran non-stop through to 1989, then took a hiatus and came back in something like 2001, something like that. Now, I'm going to be really naughty. What's the etiquette on going to layer 2 of the milk tray before layer 1 is completely eaten? I think that that's really poor chocolate etiquette, so I'm going to put that back. Flymo Chairman says, I saw in Hornby's latest newsletter they were showing a steampunk model Loco. Yeah, I know all about that. Laurie Calvert, who's... I've interviewed him on the channel. He normally exhibits a layout called Cato Pass. Really big on steampunk. Considered pretty big aficionado in that area. He designed those. So they are coming to the range. I think they may be pushed back a little bit. Simply because of the current situation. But... do look out for them. They look interesting models, and Hornby have promised that they will be sending some for review when they come out, so I'm looking forward to that. Right, what else have we got? Otis JB says, nice tanker wagons, Jen. Yes, actually, the ones that you're seeing on the screen, the sort of buff-coloured one is a main range from about 20 years ago, just when they first introduced the blue-ribboned, super detailed ones. And then in front of them, the Mastico one, which is the kind of brown-coloured tanker, was a Wally Club model from a few years ago. And then the black and white one there is Pyramid brand. Is it? No, not Pyramid brand. Let's have a look. Papermakers Chemicals. And that was a special commission from Erith Model Railway Club, which I bought a couple of years ago again. They are really nice models. I do like special commission ones. Railway Music Lover says, that is a big no. Layer 1 has to be finished first. Yeah, I thought so as well. My father's a terrible one. You know what my father does? Or at least always used to. At the point that there was none left that he really fancied on Layer 1, he would take the plastic insert that Layer 1 was in, and then he would tip them, the ones that were left, onto Layer 2, and then he'd take the one he wanted. And I thought, he always used to get shouted at by my mum, but yeah, big no. Gary Lewis, fair game if all the good ones have been eaten. I think you're in the camp with my dad. Combat Bunny, absolutely right. Hit that like button. Don't forget to share it as well. Let other people know that we're doing this. We've only got 125 people in. Normally on the live stream, the Jenny Monday Club, we get a full-on 250 plus. So there's a few people maybe not expecting this, but definitely it's been great having all your company. But also don't forget as well, Super Chat's on the go. We had a couple of people donate early on, and a big thanks to you. But also you can support me over on Patreon, and you can buy my books as well. They are still available from... what am I doing? Yeah. My books are still available from Amazon, Waterstones, but probably the best place to pick them up from is allmousemedia.com. These are my two best-selling books, great books. If you like sci-fi, then you're going to love these. Oh, that's a bit of a lead. Right, okay, plugging commercialism over. Let's decommercialise. Fly My Chairman one. Licensed to DIY steampunk. An excuse to get some of the scrap from the modelling box out and used up. Definitely. Otis JB asks, can you run something pre-grouping? Pretty please, smiley face, smiley face. Yes. Paul Hinder says the numbers have been up and down, Jenny, definitely. People dip in and out, and that's absolutely fine. But what we're going to do is I think that the 72XX, let's swap that out for something pre-grouping. I'm just going to bring that round to where I can get access to it. I do like the 72XX. I have to say, I've got my eye on a 52XX and a 42XX as well, which are the two ATO tanks. But you know how it is. Quite often it's a case of, your money doesn't stretch as far as you might like it to. Right, so pre-grouping. Oh, I know the perfect one. So what we're going to have on is my favourite Loco in my entire collection. So some of you who've obviously watched videos before will know exactly the locomotive that I'm talking about. Oops. And that was the coal insert from its tender top. Not exactly well secured, has to be said. So hopefully this will run okay with the load that's on it. Sometimes you find some of these really nice ornate pre-grouping style things can be a little bit weedy. Right, we have got something off the track. So just bear with me, I'm just trying to get this on the track. What I could do with is one of those Pico railers, one of those things. Ah, there we go, that's the wheel that's off the track. Right, there we are. Pre-grouping it is, so let's go for Locomotive 39. Which seems very reluctant to move. No. Fortunately, Loco 39, which is my Brighton Atlantic, I'm just going to put it on the programming track and just see what's going on with this. It just doesn't seem to want to respond. So let's just have a look. Not detecting anything. This is most peculiar. So, interesting. My Brighton Atlantic is not a happy chappy. Why is it not a happy chappy, I wonder? So, I must admit, I've had a couple of DCC decoders pop recently. Right, I'm struggling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open her up. because I actually do have a lot of spare 21 pin chips. So let's just remove that load. I'm going to just take a look, and I want to check actually. Has she popped a chip? I had a Hatton's 8-pin chip direct plug. Literally blew a hole in the decoder. Not sure what was going on there. And then I had a completely different locomotive. Managed to blow the. Oh, come on, you. Oop, oop, oop. I don't see any issues with the decoder. Let's have a look. There is a big capacitor in here, and I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Right. Let's try it again. We still have nothing. Okay, well, I am going to, just bear with me. I'm going to take this chip out and just have a look on the other side. Fortunately, 21-pin chips can prove very tricky to get out of the Loco, so I'm just trying here to get it out. Let's just take a look on the other side. There is no sign of issues with the decoder itself. So let's test this. Because I have a spare decoder here, so let's just have a look at some of your comments. I can see them come in. I like transport, and it's been great seeing you, and you take care, and hopefully see you tomorrow night. And Angus's Trains, great to see you. Mark Wilson, yeah, second Monday, but without the alcohol. Definitely. J. Paul Anderson, hi to you. J. Paul Anderson, good lord, Jenny's still alive. What time is it? 6, 7. Done 2.5 hours. Railway Music Lover. I had to cut off an 8-pin as it was an old one. The pins came loose. I'm going to try and get this Brighton Atlantic running. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just completely dead. So, first up, I'm going to check if it's the decoder. I have spare 21-pin chips, quite a few actually. So, first things first, get it on this test track, and let's just see now. This should now come up as number 3. Right, it doesn't appear to be the decoder, because that's not coming up at all. Let's just check that let's put something else on the test track. Let's put the Class 8 on, because we know that works. We were running that earlier on. And we should get 8673. Huh. Now that's interesting. Right, I'm going to do something now. I don't know if everything's going to stop. I'm going to hard reset my Gauge Master controller, because... Right. So everything's just stopped. Unfortunately, I've just reset the Gauge Master controller. So let me just remove Loco 710. Oops, Loco. 7112. Loco 5002. Whoa! Oh, that was a bit severe, wasn't it? Then we want Loco 5218. Let's get you up and running again. Right, I'm gonna read program. I wonder if it ran out of basically with all the swapping of trains, my Gauge Master ran out of space in its memory buffer. Right, that's now reading that locomotive. So my Class 8, it is recognising that that does exist. So let's put the Brighton Atlantic onto here. I was actually deleting them as they went in, but for whatever reason, right, let's just read on programming track. If this comes up as number 3, yeah, I think that the issue was with the I basically maxed out the memory buffer on my Gauge Master. I've never done that before, but we have been on a while, and I have done a lot of swapping of locos. So I'm going to take this. This chip is it's actually a Train-O-Matic 21 pin, but I'm going to put the Hattons chip back in. I just want to make, because basically that's programmed for this loco, and I'm going to make sure that the chip's okay. I suspect that this loco, actually there's nothing wrong with it, it's just simply a Gauge Master memory buffer issue, which I've reset by turning it off and back on again. Right. Let's read the address, and this should read as number 39. I can see it juddering, actually. It is reading it. So, wow, that's it. Yeah, Railway Music Lover, wow, rocket. David Curry says, wow, that was fast. Philip Page, HS2. Combat Bunny, that happens when you reset it, yeah. Yeah, Fly Mode Chairman 1, absolutely, absolutely right. This is a special as an antidote to all the exhibitions that have been cancelled. We're just trying to, you know, give a little bit of relief for anybody who's getting cabin fever. Let's have a look. Right, J94, Jenny, what's the coach at the back of the Class 50 train? That is a Tartan Arrow liveried 50-foot XLMS full brake, and it's a Stania full brake. And basically, yeah, this is okay now, so I'm going to put this back together. Basically, that's a Bachmann model, comparatively recently, but I believe you may find that they're all out of stock, unfortunately. They have sold out. But there is a CCT, a Bachmann CCT, in the same livery, just so you know that if you like the livery, you can get that livery. Right, I'm just going to try and get this Brighton Atlantic put back together. They can be just a tad fiddly because there's a couple of handrails which have to line up with some holes, and they are not wanting to play ball. Oh, this is fiddly. Talk amongst yourselves, nice people. Right, that goes in there, and can't see properly. My blooming eyes are wearing out. That's better. Come on. Let's get in the hole, said the bishop to the actress. Right, just got to line that up. You need like 3 hands, but there's no room for them. Oh, come on, I've clearly had you apart before. Yes, got it. Oh my word, now I can't see the screws, so I've taken my glasses off. Right, I think, where's my little crosshead? There you are. So just bear with me, nice people. I'm trying to get all this for a pre-grouping Loco, but I'll be honest with you, any Loco that I would have brought out because I'd maxed out the memory buffer on the Gauge Master would have caused an issue. But just as is typical, the locomotive that did it, and I dismantled it thinking I had a blown chip, one of the trickier to put back together. Apparently, that is in the wrong location. I have mislocated. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, it's just popped apart. Oh, and it's hooking onto my clothes. It's generally being a complete nuisance. So I'm sorry if there's comments coming in. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to repair a locomotive that is proving very troublesome. I had this in position and it's popped out. Right. No! I can't see where my screwdriver's gone. Where's my glasses? Right. I'm missing a screwdriver now. I haven't moved and there's a screwdriver gone missing. Where on earth is it? Seriously, people, I have not moved and I'm now missing a screwdriver. Oh, this is... Oh, there it is. That was well hidden. So, I can see comments are still coming in, but just do bear with me. I'm going to get this pre-grouping Loco working if it's the last thing I do. Right. Huh. Oh, come on. Right. Let's pop that in. They come apart really easily, it has to be said. It's really tricky to go back together. I'm going to get there in the end. Do bear with me. Right. Got it. Oh. All this for a pre-grouping Loco. Right, I can see as well the class 71 is starting to have I think it's probably getting a bit warm in there. It's speeding up and slowing down, so I'm going to change that in a moment once I get number 30, Loco 39. Bish bash bash. Right, finally. Right. Oh, yeah, how about another camera angle? We can do that. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to fix a locomotive. So, right, there's a different camera angle. Yeah, Fly My Channel 1. This is an antivirus Sunday special for the cabin fevered. Yes, Adams Railway. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow as well. Glow Skulls 100. Thanks for your series, giving me the inspiration to get back into railway modelling. I now have 009, been given loads of O-gauge Hornby clockwork and Hornby 3-rail 00. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad I've been an inspiration. Thanks very much. Mike O'Brien says, stop shouting. Oh, I didn't realise I was. Combat Bunny, chill out Sunday chat. Yeah, Fly My Channel 1. I was going to say, you'll not have moved far and it's gone. I have many tools like that. Mark Wilson, Jenny, just keep going. 24 hours into the Monday Club and all-nighter. Yeah, hopefully now we've got that class, that Brighton H1's going round. I'm going to change the class 71 has been running for quite a while, and it's starting to, it does that juddery speed up, slow down, which I think is a sign that, oh gosh, oh, that is warm. So, let's see now. What shall I put on next? I think we're going to stick with an electric vibe. So, here's an unusual one, another unusual one. Let's put on, this is a Bachmann Class 85. And just for something a bit different, I know there's no catenary, but what the heck. Let me just, the light's going to go a bit weird because I'm trying to get this on the track, and this was the easiest location to try and do it. Right. Oh, 8526 I think it is. So Loco 8526. Enter, bish bash bosh. So I'm going to couple that up. Let's just see what other angles we can find. Now, we had that one for ages. Not that one. Get there in the end. I need to learn these off by heart. So you'll see Class 85 just buffering up to the train. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Not too much. And there we go. We're finally reconnected. Sorry about that. Mark Wilson says, oh, an 85, nice. Railway music lover, I have spent around £30 on wheels, kits and building materials. I'm going to be expanding the steam shed so I can have a 6 or 8 road shed. Fit 2 locos per road inside it. It's going to be huge. Oh, that's going to be lovely. Robert says, how about a Gronk? We did have a Gronk going before. Let's... The Loco 8673. 8673. So you'll see there on your screens a sound-fitted Hornby Class 8 Gronk. Just going down, passing the Class 25. Oh, suffering from dirty track joins, it has to be said. Put that there out of the way. And let's change camera angle and see if we can follow that Gronk round. So you can see there now the Class 8 shuffling round through the sidings. A few little issues going on there. Trains don't normally run through this, as people who are quite familiar with the channel know. Basically, I just I build the models. I don't tend to play with them. Right, so, oh, this is where... Right. So you should see the Class 8 come into view, the top right, just behind the text. So look out for that. Mark Wilson said, this is a real treat tonight, Jenny. Thanks a lot. You're absolutely welcome. Kenneth Youngberg, White Roof, nice. White Roof, which one's the White Roof? I think that's, you mean the Brighton Atlantic. It is a lovely Loco. You see there the Class 8 coming into view. And what we're going to do is I'm going to send it back the other way, and this will be our Gronk action. Robert Cecilia, you're absolutely welcome. Yes, I do have some DMUs, but they're currently all hidden away in the fiddle yard underneath, so I'm not going to go digging them out. Not even if you donate hundreds of pounds. No, I'm not fishing. Please don't. But let's see now. Right, so we're gonna go. Hopefully, yeah, you'll see the Class 8 coming back through in a moment. It's a little way away, actually. There's quite a big dead spot. Interesting. What caused that? Something momentarily spiked the system, and I really don't know what. So there goes the Class 8 again, going through the yard. Not normally, I mean, it's supposed to be a hump yard. It's laid out, and actually the gradients are right for it to be a hump yard. But in all honesty, I don't tend to send anything through this area. It's more a case of I store a lot of rolling stock in there. So, let's see, can we find the right camera angle? No, wrong one! It's got to be this one then. And there you see the Class 8 actually climbing up the hump now, and it's at the top of the hump. And this is going to be our Class 8 action for the day, it has to be said. So there we go, a little bit of Class 8 action for you. Let's, we haven't had this angle for a little tiny bit. This is the mountain. The little bit of interference and the attempts for it to focus. This is an older webcam, it is HD, but I was gifted this, and it's not as good as the other webcams, but it's just nice to give maybe a slightly different area. Moreland Railway, Model Railway, Andy, thanks Jenny, got to go now, see you tomorrow. Oh, it's been great to have you company. I know it is pushing on a bit, hopefully we'll see you, I'll see you tomorrow. You take really good care. Paul Hinder wants a cam in that corner looking this way down the yard. Yeah, there is still scope for more cameras. It will be a feature, future feature, I think. We just got to slowly build that up. Otis JB, do you think you'll get bored of Weir Yard? I'm sure you said before that you do after you build the model. Yes. It saddens me to say that I'm already growing bored of certain aspects of Weir Yard. So Weir Yard could get redeveloped. Now that doesn't mean a case of ripping everything out and starting again, but you heard it here first. There's certain areas of Weir Yard that may get redeveloped slightly. Now I've got a hump marshalling yard out of my system. I've certainly got a few ideas on some little tweaks track-wise to the layout, but it could be a long time in coming because I've got a lot of different projects on the go. I am definitely getting a bit of a dry cough, but no, it's not. It's not the lurgy that's going round. New Mills Model Railway pannier with a 3-coach set now. Nice that I can have my own trains running while looking at Weir Yard. Almost could say it's all in one. Oh, brilliant. Talking of pannier tanks, I think somebody did ask about a pannier tank. Now, I have 2, but they're not in Great Western Railway livery or BR livery. I've got a London Transport pannier and I've got a Stevenson Clark Industrial livery pannier. So what I think I'm going to do is the chromatic blue class 25 has been going for a while. So what I'm going to do is I am going to swap her out, and I think, wow, oopsie daisies, don't do that. Right, so let's just put that out of the way, and let's go for a London Transport pannier tank. This is the Bachmann model, so just bear with me a moment and I will get this set up. So, locomotive 92. 92 and that's because it's not number 92. Loco 90. That would explain a lot. Struggling a bit for traction, but it should be alright in a moment. So you're about to see one of my pannier tanks. This is L90 in London Transport Maroon, and you will see it on the current camera angle. You'll see it come into view off the girder bridge and right along the back by the back scene. So here she comes. And that is one of my 2 pannier tanks. I think it's a 57XX pannier tank. Flymo Chairman 1. It's an attic cough from all the house dust rising up to the loft. No, it's been developing all day. Robert Cesare says, did Zoe bring you something to drink? No, I'm still good actually. Still good. Paul Hinder says, Class 86 had good pulling power. Yeah, the Bachmann 85 is doing pretty well. And that, my friends, is the sound of a short out and derailment. So you have now finally seen what happens on the DCC Concepts Cobalt Alpha. I've just got to reset. And everything starts up as it did, apart from the Loco that shorted, which was the London Transport pannier came off the track. It didn't like that corner, so we got 1 lap of it, I guess. So let me see, what unusual Loco have I got? Oh, this is a nice one. We're gonna go pre-grouping again. So, I'm going to put one of the really big Oxford Rail N7s. So, let's just change the camera angle. No, wrong one. So, Loco 1002. Let's see how well this goes. Struggling a bit on traction, it has to be said. I think once it's run a little bit, it might get a bit better. Wrong one. I'm going to go 7. So hopefully you're going to see the N7 come into view extreme right. It's actually a bit tricky to get decent shots of this trap. 57305 Northern Princess says London Transport Forever. Paul Hinder, 9F please. I would love to, but I do not have a 9F. That's another one that I do want. It's on my shopping list. Right, that made it round, so yeah, we're good. It's a nice little runner. Considering I reviewed it, I was a little bit annoyed on the review because I got a quality control fail. This is the replacement for it, but actually, this is a great model. I wasn't up to date on the cutter. Right. John Fieldsen says, "Hi Jenny, loving the channel, and layout, but I have to go as I need to finish this website and distract from watching trains instead." You're absolutely welcome. It's been great having your company. We're starting to lose a few people, so we've come round to the 3-hour mark. So, how many people want us to continue, and how many people? Actually, let's keep going a little bit longer. Why not? It's Sunday night, and we have the antidote to quarantine, cancellations, and general miserableness that the whole world is going through. So, essentially, let's keep going for a bit. We've got an Oxford Rail N7 going round. You're not going to see much of that. Let's just let's go to. That's the wrong one. 9. So you can see there the Oxford Rail N7 going round. It's actually a lovely little model. Let's give that a bit of an airing. And we've got the London Brighton South Coast H1 Atlantic just going past there to the right of your screen. We've also got a Class 85, Bachmann 85026 in BR Tops Blue. A bit of an unusual one, especially given there's no catenary. And then we've got Class 50, 5002, which I think is now due for the next change. When they get warm, the sound stops working. That's a worrying sign. So let me just move these around, make some space. Now, this is an interesting development. I've never actually run them long enough for them to do this. I want to test the Loco that I was running at the very start of the stream. And this is my Princess Coronation, Duchess of Montrose, and it too, I had an issue where the sound disappeared. And I'm assuming it's because it got quite warm. Now this has had a chance to cool down. That is an interesting discovery. TTS sound chips stop giving out sound when they get too hot. They still let your Loco run, but when they cool down, the sound comes back. So that's a good sign. Oh wow, things keep coming off track. The Oxford Diecast N7, I'm going to... Yeah, I've got a little bit of an issue there with the derailment. So just... Oh, it never rains, but it pours, does it? So, I need to... Let's change her direction, see if she copes a bit better with the derailments. Slow her down a little bit. Let's just have a different camera angle. Don't forget to like this video, share it too, and also subscribe to the channel and you'll be the first to know about new videos as and when they come. Don't forget as well. Oh, don't forget, that's what happens when everything shorts out. That's the Oxford Diecast N7. Doesn't like going round that way round. So I'm just going to reset the system. And everything that was running okay should just fire straight back up. So bear with me here. I am going to... Let's see, what am I going to put on next? Oh, this is always a good one. Longmoor Military Railway. Can you guess, boys and girls, which one it's going to be? Frank Ross. Longmoor Military Railway Yank Tank. Let's try this one out. So, Loco 300. Struggling a bit on traction. This inner set of let's just take one of the coaches off. So cut it down to a single coach. See, oh, there we are. And let's go to. Oh no, wrong one. That's a bit fast there. So let's just slow that down a little bit. And that is the USA Austerity Dock Tank. I think it's the S100 class officially, nicknamed the Yank Tank. This was a special commission by Model Rail magazine from Bachmann. And let's just see if she runs okay. I actually picked the Longmoor Military Railway one when I bought one of these. Beautiful livery. But I do also like the departmental Monsell green one, which is quite nice. So, yeah, she seems reasonably okay. Come on, you. Why are you going slow? I think I need to adjust the speed settings on this, it has to be said. It's a beautiful little tank locomotive. Let me just let's try and find the view actually for you. No, wrong one. No! Right, come on, you. So, there she is. I'm afraid there's not really a great view to show you an awful lot of this innermost track. That is one of the omissions on this setup. Yeah, Melchester Model Railway, you're absolutely right. If you've already hit the like button, don't do it again, otherwise it just removes you. Glow Skulls 100. Used to go to Longmoor Railway as a kid, watch the army stuff. Yeah, it's one of the ones that got away. Sadly, the locals were a bunch of NIMBYs, and they worked diligently to ensure that that railway got destroyed when it was closed. There were attempts to preserve the line, but the local NIMBYs were having none of it, and I think some of them were quite wealthy, which actually meant that they bought the track bed. They outbid the preservation group. Unfortunately, a lot of that went on. There's some real NIMBY people out there. Right, I need to... Let's just see, what have we got? I'm going to pick another... somebody asked for the Q1. I'm not sure if they're still in the chat room. So, Q1 is going to get a run. 3306. So 3306. Okay, 3306. This is my Q1. Cue the Q1. So you'll now see the Q1 just there, going round. I'm going to put a drop of oil on that Frank Ross, because it sounds a little bit squeaky. So, I would have loved the Longmore Military Railway Mark 1 suburban coach that they did as a special commission. I think that was for Invicta Models did that, but it's sold out now, I understand. And unfortunately, it's one that I missed out on. It's one of those things. I've got the brake van, but not the coach, sadly. So let's just get a wee drop of oil. It looks like I've already lubed it. You never have too much. Well, actually, no, you can have too much lube. So let's just see if we can. A little bit quieter, I guess. Difficult to tell. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Railway Music Lover, when Model Rail Mag was advertising the Ian Allen limited edition of the Bachmann Class 20 double box, D8000 and 8001, I picked them up. Oh wow, and I bet it was at a price now that people would be insanely jealous of. Oh, a big hello to SF Ratten New Zealand, good afternoon to you. Hardy had, I wish I lived in Britain. Here in the States, heritage steam is few and far between. Yeah, we actually were quite well catered for on that front. J94 says, I saw Gordon at the, is that Gordon Highlander at the Severn Valley Railway, and Longmore Military Railway, J94 Austerity at the Keith Inworth Valley Railway. I believe that they were actually, over the years, there was quite a few austerities. Big hello to Gonads 1259, great to see you in. Railway Music Lover, I got them out to DCC them. I found the receipt for them, £105 back in 2007. Wow, they're a lot more now. Yeah, it's amazing just how much that models have gone up. Railway Music Lover, yeah, I understand. There's like a character limit. It's a bit like sending messages on Twitter. Whoa, 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 whoa! What's just happened there? Which one has... I think, is that the C1 that's done that? That's the noise it makes when you get a short. Yeah, we've got an issue with the Q1. I can see it. There's a point frog down there. And it's yeah. So I'm afraid I'm going to swap that Q1 around. It's one of those things. I think it's just going to be a reliability issue. So let's have a different camera angle. Just catch the tail end of some of the stuff coming through. And I'm going to find, where's my Q1? Here you are. So when she comes round, I'm going to have to change the Q1 for something else. So, any suggestions for, yeah, Gonads 1259 short sleeve. Funnily enough, Railway Music Lover, it's the Q1 that did it on a point frog. It just happened to be at the same time. Tony Wright says, thank you, Jenny, for running the Q1. It's my favourite Loco. Travel behind them many times. You're absolutely welcome. It's just a shame that they're, it's being a little bit... I have some issues on DCC with some of my Insel frog points. I think essentially on DCC it's probably wise to wire things up as if they're electro frog, in all honesty, and I haven't done that with all the points on here. And there's 2 or 3 points that are really irritating in that respect. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things. So what else have I got? Somebody did ask for a 9F. I don't have a BR standard 9F, but I just realised that I do have a War Department 9F. So let's see if this is any better. Completely forgot about this. 9030. So this is a War Department 8F. So whoever asked for the 8F, let's have a look here. 9030. So hopefully you'll now see, yeah, just coming round here. That's my War Department 9F. So whoever asked for that, I think it's Paul Kinder. Yeah. Interesting. SFRF in New Zealand. That's why I use brake lights to take short and limit load onto DCC controller. Hardy Hat says, my grandmother lived in a rail yard in Fort Wayne, Indiana in the declining days of steam. She said she always loved watching the steamers go by and was sad when they went away. Yeah, Steve Jones, what's the electric running around, please? That's a Bachmann Class 85. Huh. I'm still not Steve Jones, stupid computer. Interesting. Faversham International, can you run a bubble car, please? That's Class 122 or 121, I believe. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Let's swap out the Class 8. Put you away. So Class 8 put away, and here you are. So I think it's a Class 122. So I'm going to put you on this track. And this will be Loco 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can see the lighting functions coming on there. I'll turn the cab lights off because that's a bit weird. Where's F4 doing? Not really doing anything, but there we go. So, we have the Daypole Class 122 Route Learner Thunderbird 1 going round. And we're going to see if we can follow this round. So you see her coming down there. And let's go to view number 6. So you will see the Route Learner Class 122 bubble car coming down and actually going through the middle of the yard. So there's a bit of flickering on the lights actually. And then let's have a look now. I think 6. No, that is 6. So 7. Oh. Yes, that's the cupboard monkey. And there you have it. The Class 122 bubble car making it through the yard all the way down to the signal box at the far end. McNavy says, have you got them all on the shelf in order? No, I have to say they're not in order, but a lot of locomotives do tend to be next to each other. So like all my peaks are next to each other. all of my A4s would be next to each other, that kind of thing, but they're not necessarily like in class order or anything, and it's not a hard and fast rule. In fact, some of them are getting a little bit mixed up at the moment, it has to be said. So just sending that bubble car back the other way, and let's see now if we can find the right angle. Starting to learn, so you'll see the we're back on McNavy. Aha, it's Sven from Tramfabrik, by the way. Ah, yes, I was. Oh, what has caused that? I think that is probably the class 122. Yeah, it's not happy. So I think, yeah, it's come off the track. So good evening to you, Sven, and certainly some great products. I've just been telling people about how good the smart power packs are. Let me just see. There we go. So I'm just going to... Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, great to have you in. Nice to see you. So if anybody's got any questions for Sven from Tramfabrik, this is the guy to speak to about any of your questions about the Train-O-Matic product range. So he'll be able to hopefully answer any questions that people have, and as well, you can follow the links from some of my other videos. We haven't got any links down below for this video, but certainly some great products. And I'm trying to think, what have we got? There's actually, if I go to, there's the War Department 8F is hardwired with a Tramfabrik chip. Right, what I need to do now, I was in the process of swapping a train on the innermost track. Now I'm just having a little think about what shall I run. I know what we shall run. This is a type of locomotive that, I'll be honest with you, Sam's Trains didn't like these. This is the Helgen pannier tanks. Well, he reviewed the saddle tank version, but same sort of chassis, similar standard, both came out about the same time. And let me just move that one out of the way. I have to say, I thought that if he didn't have a quality control fail, I thought his review was very mean. Because I found that this logo, in fact, let's find an appropriate wagon. I'm just going to find a Great Western wagon. This will do. So got a GWR cattle wagon from Bachmann. And let's just hook these two up. But yeah, I thought he was a bit mean on him. I really like a lot of the Helgen stuff, and I think they make some great models. Yeah, sure, they've had some issues in the past, but they've always worked really hard and well to sort out a lot of issues. So I thought his review saying like lowest scoring Loco ever was very mean. So let's 1370, 1470. Let's prove him wrong. Come on, don't let me down now. It's an incredibly smooth Loco, so we can see there. Sparks into life. It's a very light load, it has to say. That's got a Train-O-Matic 6-pin decoder in there, which works really, really nicely. So you can see we get a nice, smooth response from the Loco without having to change any of the CV settings. So you just see it there going across the top. Mac Vanny, I don't know if the Hornby TTS has the 3 solder pads to connect the smart power pack. As far as I'm aware, no, it doesn't. Unfortunately, the Hornby TTS sound chips, they're very much at the budget end of the market, so they don't have a lot of the features that more highly spec'd locomotive classes do, DCC decoders do. It's just the fact of the matter. They're a budget sound decoder, and they're great for the money, but they don't have those solder pads. I don't believe I don't think the Bachmann basic range of decoders do. Certainly the older ones didn't as well. But Trainomatic do. Lens, I believe, do, and ESU. They're the three which I've come across which do have the actual Smart Power Pack soldering points. Wardle Road. Jenny, would it be difficult to fit a Stay Alive into the Hornby Ruston? Not at all. When I did that review, it's got the Trainomatic 6-pin decoder in. Fits lovely, works brilliantly. And there's actually, the model is very cleverly done. There's an inconspicuous gap into the cab from where the motor is. Now, from any viewing angle, you can't see that, but it means that either sound fitting it, Smart Power Pack fitting it, or indeed both, is very, very easy. In fact, it's one locomotive which I think it's been designed from the outset to actually cater for stuff like that. So I would say the Hornby 48DS Ruston is a really good locomotive to fit the Smart Power Pack to, because then you can ditch that flat wagon with the extra pickups, and it will run amazingly if my Lancashire and Yorkshire pugs are anything to go by. Flymo Chairman 1. Someone asked about hardwiring older stock onto DCC. I suggested your videos, Jenny, but if Sven can shed some light onto the best ones in its range, a 4-pin for basic function. Essentially, there's a 6-pin with like a wire tail. I would personally recommend them. It's the same chip as the 8-pin decoder, but you've then obviously got 2 less wires to deal with. And they're generally always in stock. And they are €18, which is a pretty reasonable price as well. Mark Holt, you've now had a thumbs up as me, and as me as Steve Jones. Oh, grand, thank you very much. We're starting to lose some of the audience now. We're down to 83, but it's getting late in the UK. It's 9:30, it's a Sunday, it's a school night for a lot of people. But tonight, the plan is that this is the antidote to quarantine and people having to hold themselves up. There's an awful lot of model railway exhibitions being cancelled, and certainly a few people, kind of like myself as well, have to be very careful. I've got scarring in my lungs from really bad pneumonia when I was a child, and that does make me very prone to lung infections. So I know there's a lot of people having to be quite careful. So hopefully, the idea behind this, we're going to make it a pretty regular Sunday feature for the time being until everything gets back to normal. And it's just a way of running trains. You can see I've taken me off the screen. And what's interesting actually is this Helgen Class 1366 is doing really well. It's actually shed the cattle truck, but sometimes that happens, not to worry. But in terms of running characteristics, it's running amazingly well. And as a trail ahead for tomorrow's live stream, the Jenny Monday Club will be going on as normal. Going to try and do that super long brake van train. It's something I've kind of had in the back of my head for a while. And I'm looking forward to actually putting that to the test, see how many brake vans I can get in one train. Tony Wright, can you get a sound chip for the Ruston? I believe that Lego Man Biffo is doing a sound chip for it. What I would recommend, now this is, if you want to go the sound route in the 48DS Ruston, what I would recommend is thus. Make sure you're getting a sound chip with the with the Smart Power Pack solder pads. I think that ESU will do the ESU lock sound with the Lego Man Biffo sound below. There is a sound file for the 48DS because there's quite a few of the real ones do still exist to record the sound from. And then solder the Smart Power Pack from Trainomatic onto that, program it up. It is compatible with the ESU chips as long as they've got those 3 solder pads on the board. I believe that ESU do, but McNavi, if you're still in the chat room, hopefully you'll be able to basically, for some reason we're suffering with connection issues intermittently, so if I'm fading in and out, I'm really sorry here. I can only assume that parts of what I'm saying are getting cut out, but I don't know what are getting cut out. McNavi says Loxan 4 and 5 have the power pack connector, so boom, that's the way to go. If you want sound and the smart power pack, that is a good way to go. And as you've seen from my videos, I've done the smart power pack fitting to the non-DCC ready Bachmann Ginty. That has really transformed the performance of that Loco. I also did a hard wire to a split chassis Loco, so it's the big twofer, the double whammy, double bubble. Split chassis Loco. I hardwired it with a Trainomatic 8-pin decoder, and then I added to that the smart power pack, and that is actually an amazing performing Loco. In fact, when the Helgen comes back round, let's have a blast of that. So let's have a look. So you can see there, that is my Bachmann split chassis class 4 diesel shunter, which for some reason 2267 for some reason it just sort of shot off there. Now that should be charged now, so when the I'm going to take the Helgen off. This has got the smart power pack in, hardwired with the, let's have a look, 2267. Got a couple of issues there. I'm just going to just double check that. It's suddenly acting a bit erratically, so it's always worth just double checking. $2267. Yeah, that's fine. So it might just have dirty wheels. Loco 2267. I think I've got a pickup issue here. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you that. I think I need to. I need to check on that. I don't want to blow anything, so it's more likely that I've got a breakdown in one of the solder joints, something like that. Number's still coming up okay. Let's have a look inside that. Just make sure that all is as it should be. I'm just going to take the lid off. Rail the Fox, hello to you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already done so. And also share this too. Let other people know what we're up to. Go now, 12.59. Thanks for the tip. You're absolutely welcome. Oh, sorry, it's Leslie Gilpin. So I'm trying to claim credit for somebody else's hot tips. So let's just make sure we haven't got any magic smoke escaping. No. Oh, ah! Oh, that was not a good thing to do. I just got an 18-volt shock. 2267. No, I'm going to use a tissue actually. That was just a little quick demonstration there of what not to do, which is not to bridge the rails in such a way. I just got an 18-volt shock. So I'm gonna have to check up on this. It's not working as it should, and I think I've got a dry solder joint somewhere. Well, let's see, two. One, right, okay, see, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 5, 1, 2, 4, 2, yeah, that's fine. Everything's coming up okay. No, it can't be a dodgy pickup, because let's have a look, 29. Let's read CV30. CV30 has got a value of 1. Tony Wright, thank you Jenny for the invite. I think I will get a Ruston now. I know you can have Sam. You're absolutely welcome. I think that's going to be a great little project. Like I said, vastly improved if you fit that smart power pack from Trainomatic, and just make sure that the sound chip that you pick has the smart power pack decoder option. Right, well look, I'm going to round off the stream. I'm starting to get a bit tired. It's getting quite late. We've still got 83 in the channel, and it's great to have your company. Thanks to everybody who's stuck through on this. Like I said, tune back in. Jenny Monday Club tomorrow at the usual time. Bring a friend and let everybody know about that. But also next Sunday, if Alexandria Palace gets cancelled, then we're going to be looking to do this again, a kind of a virtual model railway show. So until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk. If I can... Oh, interesting. This is me, Jenny Kirk, with my silly kitty ears. So I wasn't supposed to be on camera, but look, it's been great having your company. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget, tell everybody you know about this. We're going to make this a feature through all the quarantine, and just generally, let's keep the community together. There's a few other virtual model railway shows going on as well. It's a great idea. On Tuesday we've got Ollie, big up Ollie of Wardle Road. Don't forget to check him out in his live stream as well. We've got the Monday Club on Monday. We're going to have a video on Wednesday. I can't remember what it is. But Friday video, Saturday video, and maybe even we'll be back here next Sunday, depending on how things go. Look, you all stay safe. Do not panic buy bog roll, because you don't need 200 years supply. Look, take great care of yourselves, and we're going to get through this. And don't forget, the community will survive. Put the time to great use. Do some railway modelling. Check out this channel. There's some other channels as well doing some great stuff coming up. So yeah, go Nose 1259. Stay safe. Night to everybody. McNevy says that was a marathon show, Jenny. Well done. Absolutely, absolutely right. It's been. I think this is the longest live stream we've done. But it's been great having your company, great having everybody's company, and thank you as well, actually, Sven, for the great products. We've got a great showcase of some of the Trainomatic stuff, and I've got coming up actually a hardwire video. It's one of the things actually in the video I'll say about it, but I hardwired some Hornby austerities, and the Trainomatic 8-pin decoder. It's like it is made for the little tiny gap where I've put it, and it is just an unbelievably clean and neat fitting. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a hard wiring of that locomotive coming up, a bit of a how-to guide, because I know lots of people keep asking me about how to hardwire the Hunslet austerity, and actually dead easy, got that done. But oh yeah, Flymo Chairman 1, don't forget to check out my books as well. So still available from allmousemedia.com. Waterstones still have them in stock, Amazon as well, but allmousemedia.com is the best place to go to because I make most money by that. I actually get a premium from the publishers, and if you ask really nicely, I will sign copies. It does work out. I've been passed copies to sign by the publisher before now. Also got quite a few other books as well. The comic collections are up there. Don't forget as well, you can check me out over on Patreon. Help support the channel and check back through all of the videos that we've done. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself, and bye for now.